Hi everyone, my name is Craig and welcome to tonight's episode of Guildgates and Goblins. So a couple of announcements tonight. As you can probably see, Alias is absent, unfortunately. Connor, I don't know if there's anything in her screen. Is there a funny meme that you've created?
Oh no, there's that really cool art someone did of her.
All right, okay.
I placed it really badly, but it is in there.
Lovely. Okay, cool.
I'll make it better. I feel embarrassed now.
I should have drawn attention to it. Sorry. I kind of threw that on you. Anyway,
you did,
yeah. Just we want to give another shout out to our subreddit, which you can still join and kind of trying to kind of foster a community there, just kind of include episode discussions, things like that. So if you want to go and check that out, it's reddit.com/r, and then it's just /Guildgates. And then we also have our Patreon, which you also just want to give another shout out to. So it's patreon.com/Guildgates and Goblins. So this will be a place where you can support the show as we grow. You can get kind of behind the scenes looks at what kind of goes on behind the scenes, I guess. I don't know what else to say.
Got him.
There's an interview there with me and Connor where we talk about Reg, and there's a little kind of character retrospect where we go into what inspired him, that sort of thing. And there's also kind of expand on my thoughts for one encounter that the Shadow Horror one from the other week. And
yeah, that insight that you wrote into the fights is like, it's like a full essay. It's pretty amazing. If you're looking at planning, well, it is. If you're looking at planning like D&D yourself, Craig's insights are pretty good. I was surprised. He's normally an idiot, but
right. That's it. So yeah, we'll be uploading some more things onto that probably this week. Another insight on an encounter, and then maybe another interview with another cast member. But yeah, that's it for me. So Connor, I believe you have another announcement about Tyler.
Yes. So we've been speaking for a couple of weeks now about how the Magic the Gathering artist and the just artist in general, Tyler Walpole, is going to be creating our official character art. He is going to be starting doing that on Monday at 8:30. I don't know whether AM or PM. I forgot to ask him, but he just said 8:30, so I think the morning Central Time, which is GMT -6. He will be starting painting our characters, and he also gave me a little bit of bonus information. That's because he watches the show, and because he was such a fan of the character, which touches my heart. He's actually going to start with Reg. So he's going to warm up with painting Reg as well. But you need to follow him at twitch.tv/Tyler Walpole Art. And you can see when he's live. I put a link in the chat if you're watching on Twitch. If you're watching this on YouTube afterwards, link in the description below. And I'll also link his Twitter. It's just Tyler Walpole on Twitter as well. So, yeah, I'm going to be in there. If you want to chat, I'm going to be in there the whole time watching him paint them because I can't wait. Absolutely amazing.
Yeah, so cool to get that done. So yeah, I think that's it for announcements.
I think we should clarify as well, just 'cause it's so confusing that yes, VMG and Always Turtle are in the same room.
Oh yeah, that is a good point. Yes,
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, John's living on my couch for this month, so he's gonna be hanging out in the background.
But hey, it means that we have. Don't worry about it. It means that we now have 2/7 of a live studio. So there we go.
That's some optimism. It's some glass half full shit right there.
Oh boy. Okay. So yeah. Last session, the Society of Courage, still on the trail of Milton Proctor and Yormen, pushed further into an underground tomb they had been exploring. After an encounter with a Krasis and some ooze-like creatures, they traveled through several chambers, including one filled with row upon row of stone sarcophaguses. Eventually, they entered a chamber where a pale-skinned elven man, dressed in robes adorned with fungus, seemed to be studying the ruins and overseeing the mining. The elf seemed to fit the description of Yormen, a person the party knew supplied Meldon with undead thralls. After refusing to leave, he attacked them, alongside a large, moss-covered creature, several undead minions he raised, and a few swarms of bugs. And after a long fight, during which Yormen raised even more undead minions, the party finally managed to kill him, with a decapitating blow from Kevros. So, we now join the party, moments after this, with Kevros still wrapping up the head in a swatch of cloth and storing it. So, what would you all like to do?
So, can I get a description of the room again now that there's not, something like there's not hostiles in here and I can take a better look?
Yeah, sure. So, just roughly for where you guys are, you've got this kind of lower kind of partition that's kind of the center of the room with this stone column that has these kind of skeletal figures where originally, if you guys remember, the mouths of them opened and some swarms of bugs poured out. And as well as that, there's a few kind of small rooms leading off it into just kind of smaller chambers where there's a couple stone coffins and sarcophaguses and things like that. So I would say most of you, probably from moving around, has seen that one of the chambers, just towards kind of the back right of the room, the wall to it seems to have collapsed, and you can just partially make out a tunnel that might lead elsewhere. And then there's also the the way you came in the room as well.
After I'm done shoving his head in my bag or my satchel, could I like have a rummage on the body?
Sure, yeah. Make an investigation check.
All right. Let me see what my investigation mod is. I think it's okay. Yeah, +3. All right.
Advantage because we're all standing around helping.
Yeah, I'd say that's fair enough.
All right.
Yeah,
Well,
no problem.
good shout, Chief, because that was a 6. Oh, there you go. That's an unnatural 20.
Okay. So first things first, searching through Yormen, you don't really find much in the way of wealth on him. Either he's not a man to carry it, or he just doesn't have any on him at the moment. However, you do find a journal that kind of catches your eye. The pages are very thick, almost seem to be made from bark rather than sort of, like pressed wooden paper. There's also kind of mold and small pieces of fungus and mushroom that kind of line the edges of the book. And as well as that, just kind of rifling through, you kind of brush against his staff. And as you do, you kind of notice there is a faint aura of magic to it. So just a reminder, the staff is kind of this long stick of gnarled wood that kind of curves, and the top of it kind of grasps this green gem that was glowing when Meldon wielded it. Or not Meldon, sorry. When Yormen wielded it. But now
Plot twist.
Who is he?
Yeah, whoa! But now it's no longer in Yormen's hands. The gem seems to have lost whatever light was illuminating the insides of it.
All right. I'll take the journal.
Okay.
I would like to take a look at that gem, please.
Sure thing. So are you wanting to try and remove it from the staff, or just take a look, just pick up the staff and look at it?
Pick up the staff.
Okay.
I was hoping that my Arcana check was higher than that.
Well, I was about to ask if you'd like to make an Arcana check. What would you? What
I would like to make an Arcana check.
Okay.
Even though it's not as high as I'd like.
Okay. What did you roll in your Arcana check?
I rolled. That is a 12. 13.
13. Okay. You detect there is definitely, not just in the gem itself, but it seemed to be accentuated by the staff that it's in. There is some magical power to this staff in some way.
I'm going to attach it to my backpack.
Sure thing.
Just by the way, Vaquero, I'm not trying to take that from you, but I can figure out specifically what that is in 10 minutes or so. Not right now. We probably should keep going for the time being, but later when we're, less busy.
Of course, I totally forgot that you had that capability.
Okay. So
could I have a look at the most recent page in the journal?
Okay,
while they're bickering over the stuff.
Sure. So the most recent pages of the journal seem to have several simple sketches, almost bad. The drawing and craft of the drawings themselves is quite poor, but it seems to be parts of the tomb that you've kind of passed through, or just carvings along the walls that Yormen may have taken sketches of. There isn't really any notes alongside these sketches.
What is in the carvings, if it's discernible?
It's just generally sort of these skulls entwined with ivy. There's a sketch of the remember that kind of military figure all the way back in that chamber with the glaive. There's a poor drawing of him in the journal as well. At least in this section that you can see.
All right. Yeah, I'll kind of snap it shut for now, I guess.
Okay.
I'll have a quick leaf through the last few pages, and unless there's like obvious, writing in there, if it's all sketches, I'll snap it closed.
Okay. So leafing through, you do notice as you go further back, the drawings become much better looking and more well done, I guess I would say. And there's also several notes on occasionally accompanying some of the sketches. A lot of them seem to be Yormen's kind of musings on where exactly he is. And then further back to the beginning, it seems to be Yormen begins to describe a dream that he's had. But do you want to delve further into...
Yeah, I'll read the description of the dream.
Okay.
As long as I'm not getting left behind by the party.
No, I assume the rest of the party's going to just milling around, unless there's anything anyone else would like to do whilst Kevros is looking through the journal.
I'll literally just ask Kevros, hey, what's in that journal?
Okay, all right. So, Kevros, as you begin to kind of look through the journal from the beginning, this is where the journal begins with the mention of these dreams, and he seems to describe a place that's calling to him, And as he begins to describe this place, the descriptions of what he writes match up very closely to where you are now. Specifically the mention of the rows and rows of stone coffins that you saw earlier just really kind of trigger your mind as probably the place that Yormen was dreaming about. And he seems to describe almost feverishly this desperation to come here. It's a place that he desperately wanted to visit, but he seems to lament the fact that he does not know where it is. So, further on, I assume you keep reading. Do you just want me to keep going?
Yeah, I'll read. That would hook me, and I'd keep reading from there.
Okay. So, eventually, Yormen describes a man named Milton coming to him and saying he knows that Yormen has been having dreams of a place, and that Milton can lead Yormen to this place. But in exchange, he wishes to use Yormen's knowledge of the Undercity to travel undetected throughout Ravnica. Further on, Yormen says that he agrees to go with Milton, although he doesn't necessarily trust him. Eventually, kind of there's this, the journal sort of jumps further ahead to where there's basically more of these ornate sketches and drawings of the underground chambers that you're in now. It seems to be that Yormen sort of jumped ahead and he's begun to study the place that you're in now. A lot of that's kind of more of these statues, specifically the Gorgon statue you saw as you first came in. But then Yormen does kind of jot down a passage about a dithering old man that Milton brought. He mentions a dislike of his vacant eyes and odd demeanor. And Yormen also describes that people begin to pass through the chamber the underground tomb from one end to the other, taking minerals and ore outside of another direction, a back way that he mentions. And he says that he went with them once whilst they were escorting these minerals to an abandoned structure in the Rubblebelt. And then accompanying that note is another sketch. And this is of a large, partially collapsed structure alongside a lake. And I would say, Kevro, you immediately recognize the structure that is a sketch of. It's what you would know as an abandoned Izzet Laboratory that was partially destroyed a long time ago. I would say probably even before you were born. About 40 or 50 years ago, but it's kind of a known place in the Rubblebelt. But most people tend to steer clear just because it's an Izzet Laboratory. There still might be malfunctioning things going on there but I'd say you would know of its location.
All right.
And then just as you read further on, this is where Yormen's sketches become much simpler, much worse, and whatever notes he has are just scrawled, and you get the sense that he begun to lose his mind for whatever reason. And yeah, I would say that's probably pretty much everything you can glean from the journal.
I'll take all that in, and then I'll throw the journal to Cash and say, take a look for yourself.
Okay.
And then I'll read it, and then I'm just...
Just going to pass it around? Okay.
Yeah, one at a time. Hey, Craig. All right, from the top. No. I would say this specifically, his drawings, like his sketches, as a fellow builder, architect, inventor sorts, do I understand what he's kind of shooting for?
Make a...
Not at the end, obviously, but early on.
Make a... I'd say just an investigation check, I guess.
Okay. 23.
23. Okay. Although this isn't directly something that you would have a familiarity with, you kind of piece together his notes, because you've obviously written a few notes in your time and read through others, even if they are quite poorly written. Yormen seems to be, or through his studies, he was trying to almost piece together a way to revive not just a handful of undead thralls, but a very large amount. But he just couldn't seem to summon whatever powers or abilities he needed. And that's kind of where you can get this idea there's a tipping point in his mental aptitude, is what I would say.
Okay. Well, he talks about Ember in here. They were here. And I'd bet everything I own that they're in that Izzet Laboratory.
Probably.
I still don't know what Ember's doing for them, but that's where they would take him if they needed him to build something.
I think you're right. Well, I know where that lab is, and it seems like we've got a direct route even there now, so if you want to go there...
How much do you know about the Rubblebelt, Kevros?
Well, I've lived here for 35 years, so a bit. It's a big place, mate. I know my area very well.
What do you know about that lab? You said you've been there before?
I've been around it, but never in it. People avoid it because, well, Izzet.
Yeah.
Lots of probably leftover nasties, but I know the area well. It was broken down and abandoned long before my time, but I've never been in there. I can take you there, though. And I can kill whatever's inside.
Kevros, would
Yes.
you mind letting me see that head?
Oh,
I've
go
been
on.
practicing something.
Hey, mate, go ahead. Yeah? I'll take I'll take the head out of my bag and hand it over
Ooh.
to McCary.
I cast disguise self into a better joke.
Wow. The shots have been fired. I'm going to cast Speak with the Dead.
Okay.
I will do the thing where I...
If you just want to give me the spell text, just so I can remember exactly what
It should be on roll 20 now.
Sure.
So essentially, it has to answer 5 questions, but it doesn't like us. It doesn't have to answer truthfully.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
anyway,
Sure. So.
I've been writing questions.
Sure. Okay. So you spend a moment and gather yourself and begin to cast the spell, and a kind of swirling energy seems to pass between the body and the head before the head's eyes snap open, and where previously they glowed with a sickly green light, they're now just pale white, and a voice calls out from it, "That was death. Most uninteresting."
Cool. Have fun. I have some questions for you. What exactly were you doing in this cave? We found your journal, and it seemed as if you were looking for something, and you were having difficulty finding it.
I had great difficulty finding it. I was not ready for it.
I want to make sure I utilize my questions.
Yeah,
Sure, yeah.
just a heads up for Kara. Just I'll share what I know about the. He was trying to figure out how to revive a lot of people at once, and it seemed to unhinge him. If that helps.
Gotcha. All right.
Ask it who he was reviving.
Well, he's not actually alive. This will wear off pretty soon. You'll be back to being super dead. Why did you take Master Ember? Well, let me rephrase. Why did Milton take Master Ember?
Milton Proctor. That man ruined me. I know not why he does the things he does. He's a fiend.
Okay, well, it seems as if you don't like this gentleman. If you tell us where he is, we can kill him for you.
Milton did not share his secrets with me.
That's fine. Were you aware that you were losing your mind?
How would you know?
It appears, based upon your book here, that this gentleman has, that your drawings became worse, your overall writing style seemed to shift.
You mock him? Poor guy, he's dead.
Yeah, well.
Got awful handwriting, pal.
How would you know what it is to lose your mind? Do you feel the memories fall out? I do not feel deranged.
All right, well, that was enough. My last question for you, before you rejoin the ether. What should we expect from the Izzet Laboratory that's nearby?
Make a persuasion check on this one, Justin, just to see how great an answer.
By the way, isn't this 4? Don't you still have one more after this?
No, I think this
Oh,
is
that was 5, I
No,
think.
he
okay.
tied the other one into a question.
You said persuasion, right?
Yeah, make a persuasion check.
26.
26.
Sorcerer.
Oof.
I have a +7 in persuasion.
Thanks.
Okay. So as you ask that question, Kosh, the undead eyes seem to snap to you and lock onto you, and the head says, "You will find someone most familiar to one of you," before the eyes close, and then sort of this green ethereal light begins to encompass the head and then drifts just around and dissipates. And now, essentially, Vicario, you were just holding a head.
I'm going to go ahead and just give this back to Kevros.
Okay, sure.
When I take it, I'll look at Vicario and say, "Oh, that's some dark magic you've got there."
Gray area.
Yeah.
I utilize both the magic of the light and the magic of the dark.
Fair play, mate.
How did he know that? How did he know that I knew Ember? That was uncanny.
Maybe
I
Ember's
assume
been
he knows
speaking
a
about
lot.
you. I don't know who Ember is, but maybe he's been speaking about you.
He said he didn't see him for very long. I should have said something earlier. I just kind of thought about it now. Yormen's journal said he went with them one time. He knew how to travel around Ravnica undetected. Maybe we should have asked him how to do that.
I think he said the Undercity.
Oh, okay.
That's
I didn't hear that.
yeah, it's quite a. I've never been down there, but I've heard things, and I think I'd rather never go down there.
It's a
Greg,
lovely
do-
place.
What would I know about the Undercity?
Razik's mate, you seem nice, but I don't know if I'd quite judge your knowledge of locale, you know.
Kosh, for what you would know of the Undercity, you know it's a place that you and most sensible people just try to steer clear of. It has a reputation for being bolt holes for bandits and thieves, as well as a place commonly inhabited by the Golgari swarm, and they tend to not like visitors. But a few other guilds have roots within the Undercity in some way or another, but their exact means and what they do down there is lost to you.
If we were to show up to the Undercity, would we be attacked on sight? Or would we be attacked if we put our nose where it didn't belong?
Well, we're
I would doubt we would fit in.
quite a varied group. I think some of us would be fine. Perhaps our, legionnaire friend might find it a little bit tougher.
Yeah, she's hard to hide.
However, listen, you all rescued me from that cage. I'm pretty much indebted to you. I'll take you to this laboratory, and I'll kill whatever's inside if you want me to. And after that, well, I imagine we might part ways.
If you'll help me get Ember back, that's all I can ask.
Hang on, are we going after your friend?
He's the one in the laboratory, so...
And he's a mate of yours.
And a mentor of mine, and they want him to build something. And if they want him to build something, he's a smart guy. So we really don't want him to finish building whatever he's building.
And what about if he wants to build it?
Well, it said in the journal, didn't it, that he was mindless or seemed dull?
From what I can tell, Milton can use some kind of mind control on people, but after they finish the task at hand, or they get knocked out, knocked down, whatever, there is a way to snap them out of, from what we can tell. I'll explain to Kevros about the people we interrogated, just to keep it brief.
Yeah, sure.
I tell Kevros everything about the people we interrogated.
Okay.
They had no memory, but they did snap out of it.
All right. Well, doesn't sound like we got that many options.
We've got
Seems to be
forward.
It seems to be our best lead. It's the best way, I think, to go forward at this point. We don't have much else to go on, and I mean, Yormen is dead, so it's not like we can really ask him much else.
He is dead. All right. Let's go to the... Well, it seems, judging by the sketches, that this tunnel leads to the laboratory. Or near it, anyway. I've got some things I'd like to do before we go there, but it's not too far away.
Well, we should probably get away from here, as God knows if that battle is still going on or people
That's
are
what
still
I was
up.
thinking.
I would say you probably have been down here for quite some time. Maybe a full
Gruul
day.
fights tend to be quick and violent. I don't think it'll still be going on, but I'd be keen to know who won.
Yeah.
To be honest, Craig, would I know anything about the comparative strengths of the clans? Like, would Pelska have the upper hand, or?
Yeah, so just for a reminder, because it has been a little while. So Clan Pelska is War Speaker Gorehorn's clan. and Clan Skyer were the clan that inhabited the area outside of the mines and now the tomb that the party's now in. So Clan Skyer was roughly of equal size and strength to Clan Pelska. There wasn't really enough of a difference in numbers or ability to make a difference, I would say.
So it could have been either way. All right. Well, we better get going then. We shouldn't linger down here. Alas, there's probably more bad things.
I imagine you're right. Well, when we're up there, anybody approaches us, you let me talk to them. They won't, stop us.
Fair enough.
Hopefully.
Let's make our way then.
All right, let's go.
Yep.
Okay.
All right.
So which way would you like to go? Back the way you came,
No,
or are
the,
you going
the
out the
tunnel. I would like to get to the
Forward.
Okay.
Onwards.
Forward. Okay.
tunnel. So,
So
Yeah, because isn't there like a back exit or whatever they were talking about?
so you guys make your way outside or make your way through the chamber and out this kind of long, it's essentially kind of a carved pathway that's cut through the ground and the rock. You can see this kind of wooden supports that hold up the ceiling, and a few torches kind of line the way, and you guys kind of walk along it for about 20 or so minutes until eventually you can see daylight at the end of it. And as you guys kind of crest out, you guys find yourself once again in the Rubblebelt, and it is daytime. It looks to be quite early in the day. So, Kevros, I assume you would probably want to. You'd probably have a rough. Well, make me a survival check just to kind of
All
see
right.
if you can determine roughly where you guys are.
Survival. I should hope that I'm pretty good at this. I'm actually not that good at it. All right. But I rolled fine.
Idiot.
That's 21 overall.
21.
Oh,
Okay,
never mind.
So from where you are now, you kind of look at the sky and the surrounding countryside. And there's kind of a thick forest around, but you can kind of see through it parts of like kind of scaling hills and mountain tops and things like that. You get a rough idea of where you are, and you would know that from where you are, it would probably be about a day and a half's journey to the Izzet Laboratory, and then probably just be about a 4 or 5 hour walk essentially around the back of one of the, because you guys essentially come out on the backside of a large mountain, or not a large mountain, but kind of a fair-sized hill, probably about a 4 or 5 hours journey around it to get back to where Clan Skyer are.
How far would it be to my home? And which direction would that be in?
So it would be towards the Izzet Laboratory, and I would say it's kind of along the way enough that it wouldn't kind of diverge the timeline, or well, not diverge the timeline, but it would still be about. We've got a parallel dimension.
The campaign's about to get real complicated.
Yeah.
Where it's not. It would still be about a day and a half's journey to get to the Izzet Laboratory. Even if you wanted to kind of stop over, you would kind of get there towards the end of the day, and you could sleep there overnight if you wanted to.
All right. I'll say to the group, listen, I need to go by where I stay and get some things, but also, well, you all rescued me. You're welcome to rest there should you need it. I'm fine. I somehow didn't really take a scratch in that last fight, but I'm fine.
Some of us were not so lucky.
Yeah, I'd
Yeah,
imagine so.
And Azeres took a friggin' hit.
Well,
But yeah,
Just nice and safe at the
we
back.
should definitely probably get a moment's rest and make sure we're ready, because chances are we're probably gonna face something in that laboratory if that's where they're hiding at this point.
yeah.
And I think there's a decent chance we'll have to face Milton.
It's possible.
The odds that Milton is there, or at least will show up if he, if we make a disturbance going through, I imagine he's got a way to find out. So yeah, we should probably rest up. Kevros, are we going back to your clan, or do you live alone?
I live alone, mate. It's in
Oh,
Pelska
okay.
grounds, but I live on my own. You'll be safe there as well. None of the gruel would dare bother us while we were there.
Sounds good.
Sweet. All right, let's go there.
So where you
I'm
guys see
excited.
me? Sorry, my mistake. Go ahead, Razix.
I'm excited to see Gruel hospitality.
I haven't got much, but you're welcome to what I've got.
Okay. So it would probably be about a 5 or 6 hour journey through the Rubblebelt to get to your home from now. So are you just wanting to walk there?
Yeah, I just lead the party there essentially.
Okay, sure. Just for the journey, can I just get 2 perception checks, I guess, from Kevros, who's leading, and then from
Sure.
someone else? Anyone else?
I'll do it. because I actually wanted to walk.
Sorry,
at the
did you
front of the
say
group.
2 perception checks?
Yeah, so one from Kevros and then one
Okay,
from
all right,
looks
all
like
right.
Kosh is going to do it.
Mine's a 16 overall.
Okay.
I'm
Mine
kind
is
of
also-
scared to volunteer.
Mine is also a 16.
Okay, so the two of you kind of on point. Take a good look around the landscape as you're moving through it. You kind of see distant animals that are spooked by you guys kind of passing through and dart off into the foliage and things like that. But nothing you see that seems to be threatening or anything that make you more wary. And so just along the journey, is there anything any of you would like to do whilst you're traveling, or?
No, I just
While we're
been reading them.
traveling, I was gonna say while we're traveling, can I just chit chat with Kevros about his backstory? Just be like, so you live here by yourself and blah 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 and all that stuff. Nothing so serious.
Yeah, I mean, I'll tell her I live on my own here. I'm affiliated with Clan Pelska, but they allow me to live on my own well, as a sign of respect as much as anything else. But yeah.
How did you get stuck down there? How did you get captured?
Well, I was out hunting with neither of my weapons and, well, typically if another clan, because I hunt around these parts. I live by a lake, you'll see, and I hunt around it, and sometimes, I can go into other clans' territories, but apparently I wandered into Clan Skyers. Now, this is where I knew something was wrong, because Clan Skyer would, well, never be aggressive towards us. I might get told, back on your side, but no, they immediately engaged, and not really wanting to see a war, I went with them. I could have cut them down where they stood, but I didn't want to open aggression between two clans, but it seems like someone else has done that for me.
It's a rare bout of wisdom. You don't see much of that around these days.
Well, you might have a very narrow mindset of the Gruul. We don't all like smashing the city to bits.
Fair enough.
That is refreshing.
A lot do, but not all of us. We aren't as singular as a lot of the guilds.
I mean, I can relate to that. I don't think any of us are singular to our guilds either, it seems.
What guild are you even from? You're not as obvious at the other, and I'll flash a grin at Vikaru and Razix.
I'm formerly, Simic, I suppose. I'm supposed to be Simic, but I'm currently not quite on the best of terms with them.
Oh, I've seen a lot of
Kevro will
Simic.
remember that.
Carves it in stone.
I just say, well, I've seen a lot of Simic be good people, and quite a few be not really people at all anymore. But you're welcome at mine. You all seem relatively alright. Even the Legionary. I will look at his areas. I'll say I'd appreciate it if you, perhaps covered up those insignias, though. Might be hard enough getting you lot through here.
She nods and says, sure, and pulls over her cloak to cover the kind of Boros insignia that kind of clasps it on her shoulder.
Alright.
Oh, just fun fact, Razix is 3.
Oh. Alright. In fact, how old is everyone?
I'm 3.
You're 3. Alright.
I love just dropping knowledge on Razix for no reason. It's just oh yeah, this guy's like a baby. It's weird.
Well, I'm a bit older than 3.
I thought we were just getting familiar with the party. My bad. I'm sorry for having some conversation. Look, Razix, I'm sorry
well,
if
we
you
would
didn't
words,
want
Tosh.
him to know you were 3.
Forgive me,
fine.
Azares. I find it hard to tell with your lot sometimes, but the rest of you seem young.
Yeah.
Or perhaps you just don't live out here like I do.
A little
Azares,
green behind the ears.
Azares kind of looks down and he says, I'm 30.
It's the best decade, mate. So am I. I'm not 30, but I'm in my 30s. I'll leave it there.
So. All right, okay. So you guys travel through the Rubblebelt until after about time, the sun starts to set and goes low in the sky, and the shadows beneath the trees grow longer. and the world becomes bathed in an orange light until eventually you guys are led by Kevros up just a small mound that's kind of surrounded by trees, and then you can spot this very large, quite tranquil looking lake. It's a very, very peaceful spot. It seems at one with nature is the best way to describe it. And you can see just alongside this large lake is a simple but I will say very well constructed wooden hut. And you can see there's a few animal skins and pelts that are drying and kind of hanging up and stretched across around the front of the house. And it looks pretty like a pretty solid construction, you know.
Is this your place, Kevros?
Yep, that's my home.
Quite nice.
It's not much, but it's nicer than a lot of other accommodation out here. I'll just lead them to my house.
Sure. So you guys following Kevros as he walks up towards the front of his wooden home and opens the door, and inside there's a kind of simple wooden bed frame with a mattress on top, and then a fireplace that's cold. There's a small iron pot hanging over it, and as well as that there's several tomes across kind of a desk space. Some of them are opened and others are closed, but they look to be a little bit worn and well used. There's several dried meats and other kind of goods hanging in one corner, and as well as that there's a weapons rack which contains sort of some simple, practical but well maintained weapons of like swords and spears and a few bows and a barrel with kind of various arrow shafts inside it. And then as well as that, hanging pride of place almost above the fire is a large shield that's circular in shape and banded in iron on the outside, and the wood itself is kind of a dark wood. And the center of the shield, the boss of the shield, is this metal carved, very ornate looking eye that seems to look at you as you all enter. Not that it actually turns or anything like that, but there seems to be, I would say, a
Cyclops shield.
Yeah. I would say for Vikaru, Razix, and Kosh, and Talora, in fact, everyone except poor Azares, you would all detect there's a faint magical aura to that shield.
Well, I suppose we better kind of get our stuff together and get ready for the night, I suppose. I'm gonna
whip out my secondary staff.
Okay, sure.
Because apparently I have two now. I'm gonna hand it over to Kosh and say,
I'll just say to everyone. Oh no, sorry, Justin.
feel free to check it out.
I'll just say to everyone, like, feel free to get food and rest.
You can make yourself at home, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. I'll go ahead and I will cast Identify.
Sure. So we'll come back to that in a little bit.
Hey, Razix.
Yes.
Want to go try to see if we can find something to eat?
Oh, I wouldn't do that. There's plenty of dried meat and food in the pantries. You're allowed to help yourself. I'll gesture to the carcasses hanging.
Sure.
Fair enough.
These lands are
bit of dry meat.
quieter than a lot because I'm here, but you're still deep in the Rubblebelt at this point.
All right. Can I start prepping food for people then?
Sure.
Sweet.
So you got a fire
Mom,
going.
Talora.
I would like to, Craig, in one of my tomes, I would like to do my best at transcribing some of the sketches that Yormen had made into my research notes.
Sure, no problem.
And I'll just,
Anything else?
No, I'm largely just ignoring the party while I'm doing that.
Okay.
Identify.
Okay, so for the staff, Kosh, as you take a kind of a good look at it and the kind of magical enchantment that's on it, you discover that this is a staff of withering. So I shall paste what that does into the Discord. So essentially, I'll just read it out now. So it's a staff that requires attunement, and it can only be wielded by a cleric, a druid, or a warlock. And it has one charge, and it regains this charge daily at dawn. And the staff can be wielded as a magical quarterstaff. If the staff is wielded in two hands, on a hit, it deals damage as a normal quarterstaff, and you can expend one charge to deal an extra 2d10 necrotic damage to the target. In addition, the target must succeed on a DC 15 Constitution saving throw or has disadvantage for 1 hour on any ability check or saving throw that uses strength or constitution.
Nice.
Damn.
Okay.
Wow.
So I assume we're all kind of gathered in Kevros's kitchen table area, right?
Yeah, well, it's just a
Except for
single.
Kevros, funny enough, but
It's just a single room. There's not a whole lot of furniture. Something you have to kind of sit on the floor if you're wanting to take a seat anywhere.
okay. Well, then I'll hand it back to Vicario and say, you and Razix are the only ones that could ever use this. The magics that you employ are specific to this kind of weapon. When you hit somebody with the staff, and I mean quite literally swing it at them, once a day you can effectively wither some of their power away with dark magic, but only once a day. And then on the next dawn, it regains its ability for the day. Just as a heads up too, it also saps some of their strength as well.
So I actually had an out-of-character question. I'm technically a sorcerer, but I can use cleric spells. That is obviously up to you.
That's true. I forgot about that.
I'm technically a sorcerer.
Yeah, I would say just if we have to go technically, you could not wield the staff.
All right.
Okay.
I actually changed that and say, wait, you're not a cleric, are you? Wait, why did I think you were a cleric?
I have equal number of cleric and sorcerer spells.
Yeah, I guess okay. Well, sorry, Vicario. I actually just baited you super hard. The only person here who can use this is Razix, just due to the nature of the magic required to wield this. I'm baited by your powers of healing. I just assumed you were a cleric. You know what they say about afflictions.
Have like a real staff? I never remember if he uses shillelagh on a club or an actual staff.
Razix uses a mace.
A mace. Okay. Well.
But would love the opportunity for a quarterstaff.
I'm going to approach Razix and say, unfortunately, I'm unable to wield this. I would be willing to part with it for something in return.
Ooh.
Do I overhear
I'm a man
this?
of transactions, okay?
Do I overhear this?
Yeah, I would say. Well, no
think
one's
we all
taking
overhear that.
any. It's small enough area.
I
no
will
one's-
glare over from my book and just say, give him the stuff.
I roll my eyes.
Yeah, I'm also
then-
gonna roll my eyes.
And then I immediately just give him the stuff.
Thank you.
My thanks.
I imagine Kevros did that thing the librarians do, where they kind of look down over their glasses.
Oh yeah. No, this was like an over the shoulder. This was like a give him the stuff.
The camera like zooms in on Kevros'
Yeah,
office.
like
stuff.
extreme close up. Yeah.
just a rules question. Can you swing a quarterstaff one-handed?
You can. You
It's
can use the
versatile,
quarter-
yeah.
It's versatile. So it's a
Yeah.
just quarterstaff. I believe when you're wielding it with two hands is a D8 and one hand is.
Yep,
is
1d6, yep.
But I will just draw your attention to John, which you probably spot already. You do need to wield it with both hands to use the withering
Effect.
part of the.
Yep, no problem.
Exactly.
All right. I am assuming we're continuing on what we're doing. So I'm finishing the food and I bring it up and I kind of serve it to everybody, I guess. Unless anybody's doing something else.
I guess during this time, Razix should just be kind of not playing with it, but just kind of inspecting
I
the
will look down,
inspecting the
yeah.
staff. And,
What is what
Peeking
is
around.
Talora prepared?
I would say. Well, let's see. Talora, why don't you make, just to see how good this is, what check would be appropriate for this?
Performance.
No, I would say.
Survival?
Yeah, I would say
Nature or
probably
survival.
Yeah, I would say survival. Let's go with survival. It's wisdom. I would say that's a very most appropriate one.
Natural 20.
Okay.
Wow.
Talora, a
Where
born
the fuck did you get
natural.
sirloin from?
2 dice.
Some New York strip steak out of nowhere.
Yeah. Talora cooks up a fabulous meal for the whole party, pretty much raiding Kevros's larder of any spices that he may have had, and she throws up a whopper of a meal.
I will look down at it and while being impressed will also go, well, thank you for using a month and a half worth of food. Appreciate it.
Sorry.
Oh,
It all looks
alright.
really good. I can't
I
help
said I
it.
didn't even know you could cook, Talora. How long have you been able to do this?
You know, you learn some things here and there.
Been holding out on us. eating dried meat for a month now.
Well, not much else you can eat on the road when you're just, getting rations.
Yeah, well, fair
I'll
enough.
also gesture at all the equipment and be like, if anyone needs fresh equipment as well, you're welcome to take something. It's all high quality. Typically took it off Legionnaires. Sorry, Azaris, but...
She just kind of grunts.
Mm. I
What's
do have
on
a question.
stock?
Oh, sorry.
What'd you say?
I said, what's on stock?
Oh, just
It's
martial weaponry, basically.
yes. I would say,
Not for me.
okay, there's nothing that really catches your eye there. Sorry, Tlor, what were you going to ask?
He can do his thing first. I'll do it after.
Oh no, I did my thing.
Okay, I was just basically gonna sit down as the group's eating and be like, so, what's the plan for tomorrow? Let's say we get to the lab and we find Milton or find Ember. What's our priority here? What are we trying to accomplish? Because I think we should figure this out before we get in there and we don't know what to do with ourselves.
Show up, kill people, get Ember.
Yeah, but what if? Do we rescue Ember first? Do we make sure he's safe, or do we get Milton first? What's your priority here?
I feel as if the priority should be Milton, since that is technically our job first and foremost. But I
That
can
might be your
understand.
job. My job, when I literally met Reg and Aseres, Reg and Daru, and this all went to shit, was to make sure Ember was safe. And the council may have given me a fancy job, but I don't like the council. I've had to watch 2 of my new friends die because of the council. We've received no help from them other than Razix. I don't care about the council. If this was such a big deal, they'd be down here themselves.
Are you sure you're in the right guild, mate? You sound like you do fine out here.
It's not the first time someone said that to me, but look, I'm here for Ember. If I have to make a choice between one of you guys and Ember versus catching Milton, that's not even close.
I wouldn't blame you at all if you made that decision. But my priority is Milton.
Yeah,
His
I
actions are
was-
the direct cause of Daru's death. He will be brought to justice.
Not everyone hates the guild council as much as Kosh. I definitely still work for them.
And do we want Milton alive is the other question. Not that Kevro's, beheading Yormen wasn't cool and everything, but for future reference, do we want to keep them alive? Do we want to kill him on the spot?
I'm going to try and keep him alive, because Daru would want justice, not vengeance. But if that proves too difficult, he's dead.
If he's threatening my home, he's probably dead. Just so you're all aware.
I'm also not too keen on dragging him all the way back to the city.
As for your friend,
having-
Kosh,
No,
are
go
you
ahead.
prepared to fight him if we have to?
That was going to be my other question.
I mean, I'm in your debt. If you don't want the guy killed, well, we can try to accomplish that, but it might not be possible.
He's
Ember's-
been able to mind control people before.
Bert's pretty old. I mean, he's no fighter. He's a genius. I mean, he when he was my age, he used to make, and I'll flash the gauntlet, things like this all the time. Ember made a lot of things like this, and as he got older, he realized his talents were better for non-war purposes, and I didn't really understand until I got out into the field a bit more, but I see what he means. I don't think Embert's... Even if Embert tried to attack us, I don't think he's going to be a problem.
He's a powerful mage.
I was going to say, I just want you to be ready for anything.
If he's an elder in Izzet, don't underestimate him. I'm lucky I've never fought Izzet. I don't want to. I like fighting
Okay.
sword to sword.
Would I know Ember is like a powerful mage, or he is just kind of like more in his older age has kind of given that up?
So I would say in it, you would know that in his youth and even his middle age, Master Ember was certainly a force to be reckoned with, and very, very powerful. But it's been a long time since he has cast any spells for malicious or harmful means. Whether he still possesses the ability to do that, and how potent it would be, you couldn't say.
I've heard stories about Ember when he was younger from other people, colleagues, people I've worked with in Izzet. He was quite the foe when he was younger, but in all my time at Izzet, I've never seen him take up arms against anyone or even really cast a spell that would indicate that. I don't know if he's even still capable. I don't think Arcana wears off with age.
It doesn't,
but
from what I've seen. Just be careful is all I'm saying. Don't underestimate experience.
Ember, if Ember fights us, we take him alive. No, to me, I don't even see how that's negotiable.
I'm just saying we have to be ready for anything. That's all. Because clearly, with Yormen and the Necromancers and the Rakdos, we're clearly facing things that are very complicated and very muddled.
Yeah, just remember we're fighting undead in the Rubblebelt. We might be past democracy sometimes. This is a harsh land and, well, you should just be prepared for if, you know, it takes a different path.
We'll do our best.
Just more food for thought, because I can't help but feel that this is going to be rough. Embert's a smart guy, and was at one point, or even could still be quite powerful. If Milton put him under his control, there is the distinct possibility he does that to one of us. I do know of a way to make it so that can't be done, but I don't have the resources or the time to protect us against that, so...
What do you need to do it?
I would have to build a device without a workshop open to me. There's no way I can do it. So...
You can use my home and I can get you any resources you need.
Probably not lots of gold worth of Mysium and copper and brass.
You'd be surprised what gets traded out here in the Rubblebelt. And you'd be surprised what I can get you in town. Believe me. Maybe not Mysium, but...
Yeah, my concern is just to...
I don't know if we have time. Before.
Yeah, I don't know if we have time. If they have Ember building something, then we are definitely racing against the clock. Because Ember didn't stop building instruments of war for lack of ability. Like most Izzet mages, he mellowed with age more so than a decline in ability.
I just wonder why they're out here in the Rubblebelt. And those statues we saw in Fort that Yormen was commanding. You said he was looking for a way to resurrect a lot of stuff, right?
Yeah,
we walked
a mass
past
resurrect.
Hundreds of those things. They're not out here building a weapon of war. They're out here trying to find an army, I think.
And what better place to do it than the Rubblebelt where nobody will look?
And, well, that's what they think. They're wrong. Plenty of us are looking. Or at least me. My question is, they can have their army. What do they want it for?
When we find Milton, you can be the first to ask him.
I'll be sure I do.
Yeah,
Right.
no, you're right. They're not building a weapon of war. They're building a way to make an army for sure. But why take Ember for that?
Maybe they didn't take him. It's hard to know people.
Well, no, they took him. From what I heard,
Did they?
The giant water thing is strange.
Yeah, I mean, 1 minute, with Ember, and we're walking down this street at the festival. Next minute, he's telling me to buddy up with Reg and Daru and to hang out for a bit while he goes and to socialize. And then I meet Talora and Aceres, and not even 5 minutes later, he's 20 feet up in the sky in some ball of water being whisked away across rooftops, and there's people in the streets blowing things up, attacking bystanders.
Craig, would I be familiar with the spell by description?
Yeah, I mean, well, make an Arcana check, I guess.
All right.
Just to see.
What's my Arcana? It's a 13.
13. It sounds like some sort of movement impairing spell, but the exact knowledge of it and capabilities of what it can actually do, I wouldn't say you know.
Alright, well, if he was taken, then for your sake, I hope he's retrievable from that state.
He will be.
The ones mining, I mean, you saw. We cut them down and didn't even change face. Well,
I have to believe that he will be.
alright. Well, I suggest we all get some rest and, well, we can head out in the morning.
Agreed.
I'll sleep outside. You can all take the cabin.
Should we set up watch, or do you think we're gonna be safe here?
We're a big group. I suggest we do watches.
Sure.
Just to be fair.
People will have seen us move through her. I mean,
But you can't.
hopefully Pelska. But they recognize me, not you.
All right. Will you take the first watch then, Kevros, since you'll be outside?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we do the buddy system just for good effect.
Well, I was considering sleeping outside anyway. I did buy a great tent. I plan to get value out of that.
Don't pitch that tent outside. Tells people that there's a group here. You're
All right,
welcome to
but I'm
pitch it
sleeping on
indoors
my
if you
bed.
want to get used to it.
All right. Who wants to go second?
I have no problem.
I
going
still
second.
think we should do the buddy system.
Yeah, I was gonna buddy with Kevros.
Okay.
Oh, okay. I guess I'll go with Azares after. Sure.
Okay, looks like that's you and me, Rezix.
Like old times.
Well, that's a bit sinister, isn't it?
Craig, I'm gonna put my two-handed sword up on the weapon rack
Sure.
and take my shield down, sling it across my back, and I'll briefly pick up my longsword and bond it to me.
Sure thing. Okay.
All right, and then I'll put it back in the rack.
Okay, so Vicaru, Kevros, you guys step outside and kind of keep your eyes on the countryside, I guess. So one of you can both make perception checks, I guess, to keep a watch, or one of you can do with advantage. The sun it's not dark yet. I would say the sun is setting, so you won't have disadvantage on this.
Alright.
Well, while he's outside, can I do something before I go to bed?
Sure.
The sword that he puts up on the mantle, can I detect magic coming
I would
from
like to
it?
murder Talora, please.
I'm not gonna take it. I just want to see if it's magical.
How long does detect magic got a cast time on it? 10 minutes. Is it?
I'm not actually detecting. I'm just seeing if I
Or
can
you're
like,
just- okay.
recognize a magical
Alright.
aura from it.
I would make an
Like,
Arcana check.
Arcana. Yeah. Natural one.
Oh my god.
Doesn't matter the dice. It doesn't matter. It's just her.
You can't detect anything, whether that's because it has no magical aura or whether because you're incompetent. You don't know.
Kevros is freaking looming over my shoulder.
Yeah, I'm like still putting it down. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing?
Okay.
So after
I'm going to bed. Bye.
Okay.
after modifiers, I rolled a 5 and a 20.
And what was that to do? Oh, for your.
Oh, did you just roll it with
yeah.
advantage? I rolled my own.
Sure.
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
fine.
All right. Well,
I rolled
I would
21
say-
overall, so.
okay. All right. Fine. So the two of you keep a fairly astute watch on the local surroundings, and It doesn't seem like anything threatening comes towards. And a few hours pass, and you feel suitably enough time has passed for your watch.
All right, I guess I'll walk in and wake Asarius and Talora.
I'm going to lie down on the floor outside and go to sleep.
All right. Okay.
I'll use one of the pelts that's on the drying racks.
Okay. Sure. So again, Talora, do you want to do this? Seeing as you, because I would say by this point the sun has set and it is pretty much nighttime.
I do have dark vision, so
yes.
I can't see.
And Asarius-
Do I just roll once or do I roll twice?
you can just roll this one with advantage.
Ooh. Oh my god. What is my percent? I rolled an 8.
Oh.
Nice.
And that's
Even
with advantage. I rolled a 2
even with
and an 8.
advantage.
Oh my gosh, dude.
Dear, oh dear. Okay.
You
so-
are insufferable.
I've never seen someone manage to be bad at rolling a dice
Yeah,
before. It's amazing.
Okay, so Talora, you keep a watch on the local countryside, but I mean it's pretty
Yeah.
dark. It's hard to tell if you don't hear anything or see anything.
Try not to step on Kevros.
Yeah. Sure.
Alright, that's it. Yeah. Kind of just piddle around, have chit chat with the series, and then
Sure.
go straight off.
Okay, and then again, same for Razix and Kosh. You guys step
Okay.
outside.
I will say, I promise I wanted to do this before Talora said anything. I just want to look at the sword.
You just
I
want to
don't
look
say
at this
anything.
one.
I just want to look at it.
Okay, just for looking at it, even make an Arcana check.
Okay.
Kevros comes out of nowhere and kills you.
He just rises from the floor.
Nah, that's a 10.
That's a 10. There doesn't seem to be, from what you can tell, any sort of magical energy around the sword, but it is a remarkably well maintained and very ornately carved sword. The blade is long and looks very sharp, and very well made.
Okay. All right,
That's my
now,
secret. My sword's sharp. That's why I'm so powerful.
Okay.
And then we'll go ahead and go outside.
Okay. So what do you guys like to do? So one of you roll with advantage, or you-
Razix, you just do advantage. It's all you.
Okay.
Razik's went a bit meepo there.
No, I'm okay. I rolled a 12.
12. Okay. Is that with advantage?
Unfortunately, yes.
Yeah. Okay.
It's literally it's the house. Lauren's house is actually just cursing the die.
It's
Okay.
haunted by a dice ghost.
Yeah.
Okay. So again, you guys keep a watch, but nothing seems to jump out. Anything, no threatening noises, nothing creeping up.
At one point during the night, I also say to Razix, "Hey, Razix, look, I'm sorry if you didn't want me to tell Kevros you were 3. I didn't realize that was like a big deal or something until I mean, I'll be honest, I still don't think it's a big deal. But if you didn't want me to say it, I'm sorry."
It does come with its own problems, I'll call it, but it doesn't bother me. I'm as old as I am. I can't change it.
All right, well, that's very wise for a 3-year-old. Sorry, I tried to not, and
For the rest of the watch, like, other than just keeping watch, I'll try to just fiddle around with the staff some more and
Okay.
figure out how to
Sure.
properly
So you
swing and
essentially-
attack
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Yeah, you essentially attune yourself to the staff, is what you're saying. Okay.
Please and thanks.
Smart.
Okay. No problem.
oh, also, I will just say too, Craig, I will also do a little bit of work on a modifier to the gauntlet, just as a heads up. It's not.
All right. Okay. Sure.
It's not like great. I don't have a lot going, but I'm sort of just starting the planning phase for it right
Okay.
now.
Make a Tinker's check then.
Sure. Ooh, that's a 9.
That's a 9. Okay. All
I
right.
know 10, but I think that's yeah.
You kind of take a look over your sketches and try to make what progress you can, but it's not a great start, I would say.
Yeah, yikes.
Anyway, the watch passes without incident, and you guys eventually see the sunrise and begins to bathe the landscape in light, and the day begins to blossom. However, before we get into what happens next, why don't we take a break here for 5 minutes, just because it's a good spot to do it.
All right. See you in a bit.
Hi everyone, and we're back. So we just had the party there after their seemingly peaceful night in Kevros's cabin, and now they're all awakened, and a fresh day has dawned. So you all kind of gather yourselves, get together. What would you like to do?
To battle.
I would like to
No.
eat breakfast.
Sure.
Yeah,
Bite.
same.
Formally, that's how we start our day.
I'll have some of my dried brush strider that I have
Okay.
hung
sure.
up. That's right, I studied Ravnica wildlife. Yeah. Role playing.
There it is.
Wow, is that a rare bush strider?
Well,
you
yes,
catch one
yes,
of
it
those?
is. It is. Gosh, I'm amazed you know that.
All right, you guys have a hearty breakfast, and what would you like to do next?
Is bush strider like stringy? Is it
Brush strider
gamey?
is quite a gamey meat, yeah. Careful, it gets stuck in your teeth. As he's chewing on my jerky. We're just having breakfast, guys. I don't know what you're laughing at.
Yeah, I mean,
All right.
can't
So,
take these guys anywhere.
so does everybody have what they need?
Alright.
Actually, I have 2 standard healing potions. Can I give one to Azarius? Because I know she popped a couple there last time.
She popped like
She
all
drank
of them.
3, didn't she, in a row?
Yeah, we really gotta monitor. I think she's addicted.
No, I'd like to give her one of mine.
Well, Azari's kind of pats herself down and she says, I still have a greater healing potion.
Oh, really?
I mean, yes.
Wait,
I
Taloy,
have
can I
3, so
can I have that? I don't have any.
Oh yeah, sure. So I
Oh,
give
thanks.
it to Josh. I just figured I'd, spread the wealth.
sure.
Should
Wait.
we?
I don't
should
have,
we be
I don't
on
have
our
one
way
either.
then?
But never mind. Not like I'm going to stand at the front or anything. Alright. Yeah, I guess I'll sling a bow over my back. I'll put my longsword on the weapon rack. And, yeah. I was already on there, actually. And yeah, I'm ready to go.
Okay. Yep. All right. So where is it you're going? The Izzet Lab?
Yeah, I'm going to lead the party towards the Izzet Laboratory.
Sure. Why don't you make a, let's say, survival check, just to kind of traverse the wilds?
Do I get advantage because of my background? I've got Rubblebelt Refuge, haven't I?
Oh yes.
I'm
yeah,
not sure if this gives advantage or
No,
not.
yeah, I don't know if it specifically says, but I feel like it probably
Alright,
should.
okay. I mean, I live in the area, right?
Yes.
Okay, that is a not great, and okay, that's a 12 overall.
Okay, so it takes you a little bit. You haven't been to this place in a very long time. It takes you a little bit of a while to remember exactly which direction you need to go until eventually you kind of set off, and you're quite confident you're heading the right way. And a few hours pass, and you kind of make your way through the Rubblebelt. So again, it is kind of mostly a deeply forested area that you're in. You occasionally have to kind of cross over simple rivers, pass by kind of long abandoned crumbling structures and things like that, until around about 2 or so hours pass, and you begin to get the sense you're getting a little bit closer to where this location is, or the Izzet Laboratory. Is there anything I'd like to do just before you essentially come in sight of it, I would say?
Can I? I mean, I'm assuming other people will too, but I just want to make sure to keep an eye out to see if I can't see anything like people standing watch or scouts or anything like that might spot us.
Okay, make a perception check.
Three.
Two.
Oh my god, it was lower than 3.
Ooh. Nah, you try to keep an eye out, but then you kind of just lose interest in trees.
Lauren, do you not have a modifier to like?
No, my perception's 0.
All right then.
So is mine
Um,
actually. I can't say anything. You know.
As we're walking, I'll say to Toy, "Hey Toy, can I see that sending stone I gave you?"
Sure. Oh
Okay,
yeah. Hand it out to him.
I will take the stone, and I will imbibe the shield spell into the stone.
Okay.
Into a
think
sending
I-
stone.
Yeah.
Well, if you do that, Kosh, it will remove
Oh, really?
the sending stone.
Yeah, items can only hold 1 enchantment.
Yeah.
Okay. Never
But
mind.
I would say if you want, you're in a forest. There's like
I
stones
mean,
on the floor.
it's called the Rubblebelt. There's
Yeah,
probably a few.
You could find a rock of whatever size you'd like. You know, like golf ball size, ping pong ball size, baseball
Those are
size.
so similar sized. Why did you
Yeah,
choose
I don't
golf
know.
and ping pong?
All right, a bowling ball sized one, maybe a cannonball. They're about the same
They're the
size.
same size as well.
Or has to carry her in a
Hey,
bowling
Just
ball.
What
mix
has
the
it
examples.
I'm just being an arsehole. Yeah, so what size stone would you like to get, Kosh?
One that will easily fit in Talora's palm.
Okay.
So a
you can
bowling
find
ball.
big meaty claws.
Slimy, slimy hands.
Yeah, so you can find
Lana.
Claws.
you find about just a regular pebble that you imbue the spell on and fits very nicely in Talora's palm.
Okay.
Dude.
You can use this to cast the shield spell when someone makes an attack at you, if you're not going to be able to get out of the way in time. It's something I've been working on, and I just don't want anyone to get hurt in there.
I appreciate it. I put it away. Is it going to be a reaction or an action to cost it? Just
It's a reaction.
I'm assuming it's a reaction. Okay.
It's
Nice.
literally what the stone holds the shield spell. You can cast it as a reaction, and once you do that, the stone loses that ability.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just want to check.
Turns back
can
to just a regular
basically-
stone.
Yeah, it's just the straight shield spell.
I put it in my pocket.
Okay, all right. So eventually, you guys kind of walk through which is a little bit more until you are on sort of the small rise that looks down onto an area of the Rubblebelt where it's still kind of deeply forested around it, but you can just begin to make out the peaked roof of a structure, just sticking up above the trees. The front half of it looks kind of well worn and run down. Several roof tiles have fallen off, and you can kind of see parts of the roof support poking through. The back half of the structure is pretty much just collapsed entirely on top of itself, and alongside the structure as well is a large body of water, a lake, you might even call it. Seems to be, from this distance, the water doesn't look like clear and fresh. It looks like there's a slight slickness, like an oil spill almost.
I was gonna say like kind of pollutants would be in it.
Yes, exactly like that.
Okay.
And that's probably about I don't know, about 150 meters in front of you from where you guys are.
So there's a lake between us and the thing.
Yeah, so it's like you guys are on this not cliff edge, but like a rise,
Okay.
and then there's this thick forest that you can't really see through, and then you can just see the peak of the roof and the lake alongside it.
Okay. Is it like so? Can we go around the lake? Would we have to go in the forest to go around the lake?
Yeah, you'd have to come down from where you are, and you could. The lake isn't between you and the structure; it's off to one side of it.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
All right.
Sorry.
Okay. Just checking. Sorry.
I'd start.
And yeah, Kevro,
advancing.
you'd recognize this as the Izzet Lab.
Yeah, I'd start advancing into the forest.
Okay,
Follow.
you're all going. How are you moving forward? Are you? stealthing?
Well, one thing I would be doing as I start is I'll get my shield off my back, and I'll in a burst of green flame, I'll summon my longsword to my hand as well.
Okay.
And yeah,
So
I'd start. I'd imagine I'd be walking in front, but
Okay.
We may want to try to be a little quieter in this case. We don't want to attract unnecessary attention yet until we get a better idea of what we're probably looking for.
All right, you hear that, Aseries? Don't make a sound.
I can be quiet when I need to.
I probably can. I don't try that often, but not
We-
exactly,
we
not exactly
typically-
equipped for, espionage.
Yeah, we're not very good at it either. Don't worry, you'll fit right in.
So
Alright.
you're just
Are
moving
we
normal.
gonna try though?
Or what would you
I mean,
guys like to do?
I would try to be quiet. That's just me.
So before we enter the forest edge, I'd like to say to the party, hang on a minute. And Craig, do I see anything while holding my shield?
Okay. If you'd like to make a perception check with advantage,
All right.
Shield.
That is a 19. There you go.
a 19. Okay,
Where's
so are you
Connor
still?
go? One magic
Is
item.
this still from the kind of raised area?
Yeah,
You'd have-
like on the lip before we go into the forest.
Okay. I mean, no, nothing that hasn't already been described. I would say from where you are, you can't really see anything else of interest, despite the high roll. You don't really
Alright.
notice anything else that hasn't already been described.
We just look and the Eye of Sauron is on the front of Kevros's shield.
It's
Begins to
funny you
glow
mentioned that.
like-
It does have
Okay.
a dark purple shimmer run across it when I look. And I imagine you'd all see. But
So
That's a fancy weapon. Or
it's a shield, mate.
Sorry.
Got
He does also make his sword appear out of green flame, so I'm not super surprised.
Yeah, but I
You know, it's
figured it
funny.
out.
Most people ask me about that quicker. I'm kind of happy you haven't, but
See, I figured it out. I thought the sword was magical. I realize now it's just you that's magical, but
something like that. Yeah.
After seeing his martial and magic prowess in the cave, I just don't really need to ask any questions.
look, you don't hear me bragging about it, Razix, okay?
Oh, I forgot you're magical.
Wow. You
Now
look
you're trying to
cohesive,
be
aren't you?
mean, right?
Razix, you're the zingers. Somebody woke up on the sassy side of the bed this morning. All right, let's move on.
Sassy side of the mushroom patch.
While we're moving forwards, I will say to Kosh, you are right. I do wield a bit of magic, but I imagine it's quite different to your own.
I think so. I was just curious. I'm always eager to learn.
Well,
Didn't mean anything by it.
no, it's quite alright. Anyway, I don't see anything up ahead, so we should go.
Okay.
He
Do you
thinks-
guys?
Do we want to try to stealth?
I mean, do
Yes.
you want to?
Okay, I mean, I know Loren said she wanted to. We can try. I mean,
I want to be sneaky, dang it.
I'll try, but I'm
We'll
not
do
promising
the
anything.
sneak.
Okay.
yeah, everyone
alright.
do the
I
sneak,
am
alright?
so bad at this.
All right, stealth checks all round. Kevros, you are wearing heavy armor, aren't you?
I am wearing, yes, and I have
Alright.
0 modifier and disadvantage. So,
It's
Okay.
fine.
yeah, it's not fine. From the first roll, it's not fine. And it got worse on the second roll. That's a 3. Yeah.
Okay, so
I rolled a 5 and a 3. So,
3 for Kevros. Talora.
10.
Okay. Kosh.
14.
14. Razix.
I rolled a 3.
yeah, 3 gang. Let's go.
Like
Vicarious.
smashing into each other.
13.
13. Okay. And Azari's got a. Does she have a modifier? Oh, she does. Okay. She got 16, so that's not bad. Okay. So
She's
as
the
you
sneakiest one here.
Yeah.
With disadvantage, Asari's got a 16.
Yeah.
What the heck?
Um,
What a god.
She doesn't have disadvantage.
oh yeah. Sorry. No, she doesn't have. She doesn't wear armor.
Oh, wait, right. That's true. She's a barbarian.
Yes. So as you guys begin to descend down the the rise, I would say Kevros and
Razix.
Kevros and Razix, you guys kind of get tangled up and actually begin to slip and slide down the slope, and you guys kind of crash into each other until eventually you crash into a bush just at the bottom, and it kind of shakes and birds scatter up into the air.
And an air horn goes off.
But the rest of the party manages to kind of scale down relatively quietly.
I'll get up, dust myself off, and not even phased. Like I do this all the time.
Okay. So as you guys begin to move a little bit further into the edge of the forest, you guys can now, after passing through some of the denser trees and things like that, you begin to see the front of the structure poking through. So what you essentially see facing you is 2 large wooden double doors that can extend up almost to the roof of the structure. The structure is just a single-story building, and outside the front you can see there's a cart alongside it. And there's several kind of crates and supplies alongside it as well. And you can make out 2 goblin figures just sitting at the edge of the cart, seemingly talking to each other.
How far away did you say that was?
From where you guys are, it's probably about 70, 80 feet.
I'll turn to the party and say, let me talk to them. They won't be surprised to see me around.
Okay. I'm
All right.
just real quick, just one last
If
thought
they
too.
start trying to stab us, though, in you come. Yeah?
I was gonna say, do you have like a cue, like
Yeah,
flame sword or?
Weapons come out. Q, alright?
Okay, sure.
Yeah, I'll
Just
make it
as a
obvious
small-
for you, and I'll throw my longsword on the ground by by Talora and be like, when that appears in my hand, come in.
Fair enough.
Alrighty. Just
So-
as a small
Sorry,
side
go
note too. If for some reason we decide we want to, I was doing some thinking last night. I can disguise myself as Milton.
Do you know what he looks like?
Well, I know what he looks like wearing a hood.
That's probably
hiding
not that
his face.
helpful.
Well,
I mean, I've got a hood, mate. I can put my hood up. And tell them I'm Milton if you want, but...
Yeah, okay, fair enough. All right, it was more of a work in progress, but you're right. This way's better. Go ahead.
Let's just relax.
I'm brainstorming.
I'm going
all
to
right?
walk out into the clearing towards them, and I'm going to call out in Goblin as soon as I'm 20 or 30 feet near them. All right,
Okay.
lads, what are you up to?
Sorry, before we come to that, I just want to know what's the rest of the party doing. Are you guys staying about 60 to 70 feet back?
Yeah, I'm gonna stay hidden and keep watch to see what he does.
Okay.
Is there no outcropping even like 20 feet
No, I
closer?
mean, it's still sort of forested, and there is things to hide behind if you guys want to move closer. I would say.
What's like?
Move a
What
little
about
bit
30 feet? If we're like 30 feet away, is there adequate cover, or would we?
That would pretty much bring you right to the edge. I mean, there's trees and rocks and bushes to hide behind, but
I at least personally would like to be 30 feet away if there's adequate cover that Kosh feels like he wouldn't be exposing himself.
there's adequate cover that you could potentially dodge.
Okay.
If we get there, that's the other issue.
So would you all like to move up?
I'll move up a little bit, but I won't be as close as Kosh. Maybe I'll be like 60 feet or something, a little bit further.
Same.
Okay. Let's just say, Kosh, do you want to make a stealth check for me as well? See, there's more
Sure.
independent movement.
Unnatural 20.
Okay. So you managed to get up close enough where you're about 30 feet and just take cover behind a tree trunk, and you feel relatively concealed. So now, sorry, Kevros, we'll jump back to you now. So you were walking up to these two goblins.
Yeah, I'll
and
just
what was
call
it?
out. I'll call out something in Goblin, saying, "All right, lads, what are you up to?"
So as you get close enough, you kind of pick up just the tail end of a conversation that just goes, "Ungrateful bastard," and then as you get closer, they both turn and look at you and they say, "Hey, who are you?"
Back to work, you
Whoa.
lot.
Great. Do these guys look gruel? Do they look?
Make a perception check.
All right, with advantage. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That is a 14.
These guys definitely don't look gruel. You can
Alright.
see both of them have small pairs of goggles raised up onto their foreheads. They have large copper tanks on their backs and tubing that runs down to their waist, and then the tubing kind of extends down to this large instrument that's essentially looks like a large pipe that's kind of bulbous at one end, and you can see there's a small flame glowing at the end of each one.
Oh dear God!
Oh.
I'd like to take a moment to add a character, say, "Fuck," and then I'll go up to them and I'll say, "Oh, I just live in the area. Saw you were doing something. You guys all right?"
Jog on, mate.
Oh no, that's not very nice now, is it?
We're not paid to be nice. Sling it.
Oh, who's paying you?
Make a perception check.
But do you mean persuasion?
All right, so yes, persuasion.
Alright.
So many perception checks.
Are
I
you
can do
perception
perception
it?
if you want. I'm better at it.
No, make a persuasion check.
You
You
This is a
see
flat
them
zero.
winding up their attack.
Okay, that's a 15.
15. Now they would turn and say, "It's not really any of your business who's paying us or what we're doing out here.
Oh.
Told you once, sling it. Now get lost. We'll bring out Sparky.
Oh, what's Sparky?
You want to see Sparky, do you?"
Oh, I'm alright. Alright then, you're the boss. Anyway, I'm just going this way and I'm going to start walking past them. And as soon as I get like one step past them, I'm going to summon my sword to my hand and swing it into the back of his head.
Okay, cool. Yeah, sure. I'll let you have one attack on this. That's fine.
Yes!
And as, like, obviously, we see the sword disappear, can we jump
So
into action?
yeah, we'll jump to that, but let's just see how Kevros does on his swing.
On the one swing. Alright.
Decapitate him.
It's the same as my... It's, sorry, one sec. Alright. Wielding it one-handed, aren't I? So... Sorry, I don't actually have a longsword in my attacks.
Oh dear.
A longsword's a D8, right? It's a D8. Okay, cool.
If it's wielded one-handed, yes.
Yeah, alright. That is 19 to hit.
Yeah, that hits. You want to roll damage?
Alright. That is I need a D8 now. That is 10 points of slashing damage.
All right. Okay. So you swing your sword and just smash it into the Not my desk. Into the goblin's shoulder, and it kind of bites deep down. You see kind of red blood sprout, and he kind of grasps the blade and shoves out, and then he just yells, "Sparky, get out of here!" And I'll move us.
That was the sign, by the way.
I'll move us now all onto the battle map. Just give me a moment,
Yeah, it's not
because I have a few things to reveal.
That's always a
So-
good thing to say.
just a few.
I must reveal your demise.
So Kevros, hold on, let me reveal the gobbles first. And also, I just want to give a shout out to Big Boy Bicco here. If you,
That
all-
is his full name, yeah.
Oh,
if you guys want to take a look at those, you can even zoom right in here.
I'm zooming in for it, yeah. Look
we
at
saw-
Fucking
this
player
guy-
in the
I'd like to point
glasses.
out, Bicco is basically making MTGA premium art, like, before they're in the game. It's amazing.
Yes. So you can now we saw a little bit last week with the animated torches, but Bicco is now making some animated character tokens for me, and these are just the taste of things to come, I will say. So Kevros, you'd be just
I'd
pretty much
imagine
on the
just
left.
where I put myself, right?
Yeah, that's fine. So Kosh, you're pretty much back here. You see on my ping, and I'll bring up the
Like
turn
back
on.
No, I didn't see a ping. I think you might have been on GM layer.
You're right, I am.
Bicco is such a fucking fiend, isn't he?
Around this
Jesus.
tree. So the rest of you would just be a little bit further back, yeah, roughly where you are dropping yourselves down. And if y'all want to roll initiative, and I'll turn the music to some.
I believe I have an ability for that now, don't I, Craig?
Yes, you do have an ability for that. So
Oh.
yes, if you'd like to roll that with advantage. And once you're all down. Oh no, wait, no, it's Ares, is it?
Merchant was too used
Not
to
that
rolling
good.
advantage with Reg, so he had to take something to get advantage.
Shouldn't let me go to my house. Now I go first forever. Except I actually don't because I rolled really badly. But
Okay, sorry. You guys should all be able to add your turns now. And then if you just want to read them out as well as you're putting them in.
sorry, 12. I put mine in.
well, for me,
I'm
Oh,
also at a
wow.
12. Wait a
I
minute.
actually got 11. I can't do basic math.
I rolled a
Triple
7.
12 squad.
But I think Kosh goes first anyway with Dex.
Yeah, with Dex, I'll go. I have no Dex mods, so.
I have one.
The goblins might go first. I don't know.
Probably.
Sorry, give me a moment. This is a little bit footery just to do.
Sparky probably gonna go first.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, well,
I don't want to find out what Sparky is.
I
'cause-
was say, Sparky's not my problem yet. They don't know I'm here.
okay. Azare's got a 20, unnatural. But,
Oh my
and,
god.
okay, and that's a 14 for goblins. So that brings us to Azares to start. Okay, so Azares is going to. Let me just double check. Okay, so Azares is just going to move up to about there, and she's going to throw one of her javelins. Oh, and she's going to start raging and then throw one of her javelins at the closest goblin, the one Kevros just hit. So she swings back, and that's an 11, so that doesn't hit. So yeah, she just throws off this javelin, and it misses and just sinks into the back of the building. But she's going to, yeah, she'll try again. And that's 13, which also misses, as the second one just goes flying into the building as well. So unfortunately ends her turn. So now for the goblins. Now before that happens, you all hear from within the large structure behind them this deep pounding on these double wooden doors, and all of a sudden they shatter apart. And as the dust kind of settles and the smoke clears, you can all make out a very large creature that you should be able to see now.
Oh,
This-
that's awesome.
Oh my.
Oh,
That's a pistol
That is
fist
so
Cyclops. Good.
cool.
So this creature, I would say, all the city dwellers, well, in fact, probably even Kevros would recognize this as a Cyclops, a creature that generally works for the Izzet League. It has bands of copper and brass adorning it. They're blue glowing lights and a large kind of steam backpack along it, on its back even. Its arms are end in these large brass tubes that don't even show their hands. They're just covered in these glowing blue lights, and it kind of looks around and focuses right onto you, Kevros.
Good. I'm glad. Oh my god, the valve even moves.
Yeah,
on
the
his backside.
valve moves. That's what I was saying. Holy shit!
Yep.
But the goblins are going to act first. So, first of all, let me just double check one thing. Yeah, that's fine. So one of the goblins starts giggling to himself as he's running. He sort of lights the front of the tube, and the ignition kind of sparks. And as he gets around this tree, he grins.
Wait, sorry, he would have took opportunity from me.
Sorry, would have. My bad. Go ahead.
All right. That is 16 overall to hit.
Yeah, that hits.
All right. I need to get used to rolling a d8. Oh, that's 11 points of slashing damage.
Nice.
Wham.
Okay, so yeah, you just catch him deep across his back as he's running away, and he kind of yelps out, but he keeps on running.
All right.
Thanks.
And then as he rounds the tree, he starts laughing and cackling to himself and raises his large brass tube. And as he does so, this gout of flame sprays out towards both Azares and Kosh. And I would like both of them to make a dexterity saving.
Thanks a lot, Azares. Just had to run next to me. Ooh, that's 19 for me.
Okay, that's a success. Azares rolled an 11, and that's a failure. So
Does her danger sense give her advantage on
it
that?
does actually. Good point. It's worse though. It's an 8, I'm afraid.
Damn it.
Let's hope I don't kill Azares. Eh?
That would be really awkward.
Yeah, that would be pretty awkward. Eh? So
Alias would be so angry.
as this flame sprays out, it kind of starts to ignite some of the trees, but Azares takes the brunt of it in front of you, Kosh, and just a slight singe comes across you as you take 5 points of fire damage, and she takes 10 points of fire damage. Okay, and then the second goblin he's actually going to move up to you, Kevros, and from his waist he pulls out a small warhammer. He just tries to bing it across your face.
All right.
So he tries to. Okay, that's an 11, which I
That does
assume
not hit
doesn't
me, though. Right off the shield. Yeah.
And that ends his turn. But the Cyclops.
Oh, God.
Sparky.
Let me just check what you would like.
Sparky.
Okay, I'm just going to roll.
Take
He's a
60,
big
10
boy.
Electric
Okay.
damage.
He's a big boy.
He starts to. Essentially, you hear the sounds of like pistons whirling and machinery clanking, and steam starts to arc off his back. Essentially, he just starts to barrel through towards Azares. And as he does so, he raises his fists, and his first attack. Okay, that's 10, which doesn't hit. And then his second attack is a natural 1. Shit. Okay. All right, bad showing for the Cyclops as he essentially, in his what seems to be blind rage, starts to barrel through into the forest and knocks trees aside and bushes go awry, but he just doesn't seem to land an attack on Azares. So that ends their turn. All right, so Kosh, you're up first. What would you like to do?
I'm in complete awe at the size of this lad.
Yes, he is an absolute unit.
All right. I'll go ahead and cast Zephyr Strike on myself with my bonus action. That will mean I do not take opportunity attacks when I run away to over here. Actually, no, I'm gonna go the other direction. Yeah. I'm gonna go here. And okay, actually what I should ask is once I get here, do I have an adequate
Did you disengage there? Sorry, or you took the Zephyr Strike. Yes. Yeah. Sorry.
So I'm trying to aim at the far goblin.
The Cyclops would probably add 3/4 cover here. He is a big guy, and he's got this large metal backpack across him.
Okay, I have a small request then. Before I ran over here, would I be allowed to step back and shoot, or would you say I've already moved over here?
No, you can do that. It's fine.
Okay. I will step back, having disengaged from Sparky. I'll go ahead and take this shot, and then I'll take my movement.
Okay,
So
go ahead.
that is a unnatural 20.
Yeah, that hits. If you want to roll damage.
Sure. That's a 1. 10 points of piercing damage.
Okay, so as you fire off a shot, it just smashes deep into his side, and he kind of squeals out, and more blood starts to pour out from this guy. This goblin is looking pretty beat up. This is the one that's been smacked by Kevros a few times, but he's not dead yet. Anything else? So you want to move? You can move.
I think I can get there.
Yep.
I believe here. Yep. All right. And
Okay.
that'll end my turn.
All right, Talora.
Okay. I'm going to shift over. Oops. Sorry. I'm gonna shift over to this tree down to the south here.
Sure.
Can I see Sparky pretty good, right?
Yep.
I'm going to cast Freezing Ray.
Okay.
All 3 friggin' darts right on Sparky.
Okay. So is that just 3 attacks from you?
Yes.
Okay.
So I'm rolling 3 attacks because I hate myself.
3 natural ones.
First is a 15.
That hits.
Second is a 20.
That hits.
And the third is a natural 1.
Okay. So 2 hits. Is that a natural 20 or a non-natural 20?
It's a non-natural 20.
Okay.
Let's see. How much damage do I do here? Sorry. I think it's 2d cold each. I believe. On a hit, 2d cold. Oh yeah, so
I'm not familiar with the cold-sided die.
Yeah.
yeah, so
D-cold?
so it's gonna be okay. So 2d cold each.
Okay.
2D cold.
I don't think
2d6.
she. Okay.
Ah.
Okay.
Sorry. Oh, shit.
That's just how they do it in Canada.
the
In
first
Canada,
one is
all
6.
die are just 2D
6.
cold.
Okay.
And the second one is 11. So
11. Okay. So as you raise your hand, 3 blasts of this blue energy arc off and smash into the side of the Cyclops. And as that happens, the Cyclops' head suddenly snaps round and locks onto you. And all of a sudden, you just hear a deep growl come from him as he begins to just barrel through the tree line and just head straight towards you. This movement does not provoke an attack of opportunity from Azares, and he is going to immediately try and slam his gauntleted hand into you. And that's a 16.
That hits.
That hits, okay. Sorry, let me just grab this dice. Don't use it very often.
Let me just get these 15 dice out. It's fine.
Okay.
I don't have mage armor right
Where's-
It's
now.
like I
Where's
don't
my
get to
D
use
cold?
the D100 that often.
Okay, you take 16 points of bludgeoning damage as it essentially just backhands you
Ow.
with its large gauntleted hand.
No, that's fine. Totally fine.
Okay. Now you can still have the rest of your turn if you'd like to move.
If I move, I'm gonna get slapped again. So I think
Well, just so we avoid like rules law or anything like that. That does seem to have been the creature's reaction, for lack of a better word.
Okay. Yeah, I'm still gonna just chill. I
You're
guess.
still gonna stay where you are? Okay. All right. Kevros.
All right. Well, now, Craig, this Dimir charm that I have in my possession,
Yes.
I could use that as a bonus action to go 30 feet, right?
Yes.
All right. I would like to crush that and teleport next to the one that ran away.
Okay, yeah, sure. So you bring out this Dimir charm in your hand, and you essentially crumble the disc in your fingers, and all of a sudden you ping straight across right next.
Ka-ching. All right. So I'm going to fly through next to that one that ran away in the tree line, and I am going to attack him.
Okay, sure, go ahead.
Should I do 2 attacks? Yeah, I should do 2 attacks. It gives me a better chance of critting, so I should do 2 attacks. Okay, the first one's a 14 overall to hit.
That does not hit, I'm afraid.
Oh, rip. And the second one is a natural 20. There you go.
Yeah,
Made
that
it
hits.
up. 5 and a 2. Great. So 11 points of slashing damage.
Okay. Okay. So as you swing your sword across, you cut deep into the exposed flesh, and he begins to squeal out and crumple, and he begins to fall back. But as he does, you hear high-pitched whistling coming from his body. And
no.
flames begin to erupt, and he explodes in front of you. I need you to make a dexterity saving throw for me.
All right. Okay, I'll do that first, because I want to do something in reaction.
Sure.
My dexterity saving is I have no mod, so 17.
That's a success. So you, as the flames engulf you, manage to kind of cover yourself up behind the shield, and it absorbs most of it. But you take.
I would like to cast Absorb Elements as my reaction.
Okay, so does that give you even more resistance?
It gives me resistance, yeah.
Okay, so you take 2 points of fire damage as
Alright.
your hair is slightly singed, and one of your
And my
eyebrows.
blade lights up in fire as it hits me
Okay.
as well.
All right, cool.
Alright.
So yeah, he's dead, and you still have the rest of your. Well, you.
I still have the rest of my movement, right?
Yeah, you used your bonus action to move.
All right, I'm gonna run back to where I was and place myself between the other goblin and the rest of the party.
Okay. So you still have your other attack as well, if you want to use that.
Oh, I do, don't? No, I didn't. I missed my first one and then I hit my
Oh,
second.
Yes, you're right. Thanks. My bad. All right, Vikaru.
All right. Well, that made things a little interesting with Cyclopsy Boy moving. I am going to travel. No, I can't travel to there. Can I travel to there? Is that okay? Cool. I'll travel to there.
Sure.
And oh, this is a terrible idea. I'm going to cast Spiritual Weapon between me and this brute.
Okay.
Hopefully it's stupid and doesn't realize, oh, I'd have to actually get freaking Spiritual Weapon out.
If you want to drag that token onto the map and take a good long look at it for me as well, Justin, once you do.
What?
Where is it? I can't see it.
It's shiny!
It's shiny!
Oh, it shines now. Oh my god, did he get a shiny
Oh my god!
spiritual weapon?
It's looked my flaming sphere is different too. No, I'm gonna have to cast
I
that
just
now.
saw that. Oh, that's awesome. I need to put my measuring thing down, and I'm gonna hit this thing.
Sure, go ahead.
Oh, please be nice. I hate everything. It was a natural one,
Oh, I'm afraid that doesn't hit.
but luckily,
Oh,
it's a
okay.
bonus action. So I'm going to. So that was the one that was hit. So I'm going to toll the dead on the Cyclops.
Okay, go ahead. Yeah, he has
do-
taken damage, so wisdom saving throw from me.
Correct.
And that's an 11.
He fails.
He fails.
He
Okay,
hears-
go on.
Here's the jingling of my coins,
Sure thing. Okay.
and he takes 8 damage.
He takes 8 damage. Okay. So as you cast that, you lets out kind of a low and begins to kind of rock back and forth.
Christ, we need like a warning for that.
Sorry. That's my
God.
whale mating call. All right. Anything
I
else?
believe that is all.
Okay. Razix.
All right, I am going to move my guy up towards the cycle.
Sure. You've muted your mic, John.
I can't press the battle screen and the thing at the same time. Anyway, I'm going to cast Poison Spray, which is
Okay.
a Constitution saving throw from you. I'm also going to invoke my spores, which is also a Constitution saving throw from you.
All right. So first one, he rolls a. Sorry, hold on. It's a. Oh, it's a 14.
That saves.
Okay. And the second one is a. Okay, that's only a 7.
Okay, so the spore damage does do damage, but the acid or the poison cloud does not.
Okay.
Alrighty, so that is 3 damage. The spore damage.
Nice.
And as my bonus action, I'm going to cast Shillelagh on my new fancy quarterstaff.
Okay. All right. So yeah, as you just this is a note. When you cast the cloud of poison beneath the creature, the lights along it begin to blink and flash, and it seems to exert some sort of steam around the area. And potentially, it's a little bit harder to land a spell like that on the creature. You get the idea.
Okay. That's the end of my turn.
That's the end of your turn. Okay, Azares. Azares is now. I believe. Can someone just quickly remind me? Barbarians are 40 feet of movement at level 5. Isn't that correct?
Yeah, they just gained it last level.
I
Yeah,
don't
they
think,
get a little bit more.
Alias put that in, but yeah, I think she can move to there, no problem. Okay.
It's pretty fast.
Okay. Yes. Even without it. So she moves towards it, and she's going to try and swing both times with her battle axe at the Cyclops. So first attack is an 11, which does not hit. And second attack, natural 20. How about that? Okay.
You didn't move her token.
Well, did I not? It's moved for me.
Oh, there we go. Now it's moved.
Okay. All right. So first of all, it does. Oh my gosh.
Good lord, Craig. Does a lot, clearly.
That was me
Okay.
kicking my green screen. I apologize.
Okay.
Look, it shouldn't
So-
misbehave, okay?
So with the double damage, it does 13 points of. Hold on, let me double check what damage it is. I think it's slashing. Yeah, slashing damage. As she drags her axe right across the exposed flesh of the creature, and as she does, it kind of glows with this radiant light, which deals 4 points of radiant damage from
Yeah.
that.
Good
Okay.
hit.
And that ends her turn. So now back to me again. Hey, great.
Craig's just
Okay.
playing against himself
Yeah.
at this point.
Okay. So The goblin next to you, Kevros, is first going to stow his hammer and pull out this large brass tube, and he kind of starts giggling and cackling to himself. And I would like both you and Kosh to make dexterity saving throws for me.
Big old fireball.
16.
16, okay. And Kevros?
Oh, sorry. My mic
Dex.
was muted. Yeah, that's 10.
Okay, so that's a failure from Kevros. So Kevros, you take 10 points of fire damage.
I still have
and-
resistance to that because I haven't had a turn yet, so I take
Okay,
5.
cool. So you take 5 points of fire damage, and Kosh, you also take 5 points of fire damage as this jet of flame just engulfs both of you, and the goblin starts cackling and giggling to himself.
Ross is like one of those heroes in a movie that just stands in fire and looks badass.
Doesn't realize that like my cape's like smoldering behind me.
Okay, so the Cyclops kind of takes a deep breath and then gradually turns and shifts and looks at his Ares and is going to try and hit her. So first attack is okay, that's a natural 1, and second attack, okay, that's a 24. That hits. And oh my goodness, so many different dice today. Sorry. Okay, she takes 13 points of bludgeoning damage as the Cyclops just smashes her across the face. You see blood spray out from her mouth, and
That's halved, right?
oh, it is. That is correct.
But she's
yes.
raging.
So I better remember to do that. So yeah, and now he's going to move. Nah, he's quite happy where he is. Okay, back to you, Kosh.
Okay. I'll go ahead and activate my Zephyr Strike, blinking a couple times as I do so.
Okay,
I will move here
sure.
with 10 feet of my movement, and I will attack this man with advantage, or this goblin, rather. Okay. That's 25, which I'm going to assume hits.
That hits.
So it takes... Yeah, he takes... Oh, wait, I didn't... Sorry, I forgot. Well, I just forgot about the breakup. So he takes 7 points of force damage,
Okay.
and then 10 points of piercing damage.
Okay.
And
Nice.
I didn't say this, but I used my bonus action to reload before I took
Sure.
that.
Yeah, no problem. Okay.
And
and anything
I'll
else?
go ahead and use the rest of my movement to go there, and then nah, I'm going full back here.
Okay. All right. So as you fire off, your...
I kind of curve off to the side and think about running next to Kevros, and then I remembered that other goblin blew up earlier, so I just hard dash over to
Okay.
Razix and Talora.
So just so when your gauntlet shot hit the goblin, it pierced straight through, and you hear bones cracking and breaking as it kind of smashes through his ribcage, and blood starts to pour out, and he looks very close to death, I will say. Okay, Talora.
One second. I forgot that cantrips scale once you hit 5th level.
They do. Yeah.
All right. Okay.
Yeah, I should have done one more d12.
Okay. Well,
I
I wanted
wanted
that
to-
for next time, just
Yeah,
to, just in case anyone was like in the chat afterwards or on YouTube,
Yeah.
you know. So don't worry about
Did
Alright.
you know?
it. Talora, what would you like to do?
Right. So as like the big thing is turning around to try to hit Azeri, I'm gonna take this opportunity to try to get away from it, I guess.
Okay.
I'm assuming I'm gonna have to disengage because otherwise I'm gonna get smacked again, and I really don't want to.
It might go for it. It might do that.
It might smack me. Just
It might.
Yeah. So I'm just gonna use my action disengage, go hide behind this tree,
Okay. Is that it?
and that's kind of what it's gonna do. Yep.
Okay. All right, Kevros.
I had a different plan, but
All right.
you know,
Well,
things change.
looks like the rest of the party's got their own fight. So I'm going to swing at this goblin, and I'm going to go for a fiery menagerie of effects, as I'm going to light up my already on fire sword with green flame
Okay.
and hit them.
All right. Okay. Even more
This
fire.
doesn't hit. I'm so screwed.
We're gonna burn down this forest.
Okay.
All right.
So-
Okay, that's a 22 to hit.
Yeah, that hits.
All right, so this is 1d8 from my sword, a d6 of fire from absorb elements, and a d8 from green fire blade as well. Okay.
Okay.
So they take,
And a D40 in the explosion.
yeah, They take 8 points of slashing damage and 8 points of fire damage. There you go. That's easy. So
Okay.
16 points.
Give me a second here then. Let me just check something.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
He's like the Zag Galifianakis meme, just trying to figure out how much damage to make us all take.
Okay. So, Connor, as you swing
And
your
then I
blade...
jump backwards very far.
Okay. As you swing your blade over, you smash it straight into the goblin. He kind of lets out a small whelp before he crumples down to the ground. You hear the machinery on his back begin to whirl and whiz, and steam begins to spark off, and it sounds like it's just about to explode again before it just suddenly peters out.
Oh. As soon as it peters out, I'm just, I hit Izzet. There we go, it dropped.
Okay. Fair enough. So you still have your movement and
All
your
right.
second attack, I believe.
No, I don't, because I just used a cantrip, so I don't get second
All
attack.
right. Okay, that's correct.
I am going to... Oh, God, I actually don't know. Yeah, okay, I'll run over and... Oh, wait, how far can I run, actually? Sorry, let me just check. Yeah, I'll, like, run and position myself on this side between me and the casters, essentially.
Okay.
All right, that's the end of my turn.
Vikaru.
All right, so I shall start off by attacking this lovely Cyclopean gentleman
Okay.
with my spiritual weapon.
Okay.
That is a 24 to hit,
Okay.
and that is
That
1d8
hits.
plus skill mod, so that's 8. That's 5 damage,
Okay.
and then I'll cast Toll the Dead and do the correct amount of damage.
All right. Okay. So wisdom save for me for the Cyclops. Ooh, Cyclops, nice one. That's a 17 for the Cyclops.
Gosh dang it!
He's a smart boy. Okay. So yeah. Unfortunately, that doesn't take an effect. Anything else? Would you like to move, Vikaru?
No, I'm good where I am.
Okay. Razix. John, I
I'm
believe
going to. Sorry.
I forgot when I hear silence when I speak. I think you muted your mic, but my bad. Go ahead.
Yeah, that's my bad. Sorry. I'm going to move just up to him and take a swing with my one-handed swing with my quarterstaff.
Okay.
Mac.
I rolled a 9.
A 9 does not hit, I'm afraid. So
I'll
as
take
you-
this time just to do my spores as well while
Okay.
I'm sitting here.
All right. So con save from me. That's a 21.
Nothing happens.
Okay. So
That's
as
it
you
for me.
begin to swing your staff over, just as he bounces off the armor plating around the Cyclops, and he begins to sort of almost flex in front of you. And
What a bitch.
Wow. What?
okay, Azares is going to shift a little bit around the Cyclops, and then she's going to swing her battle axe both times. So that's a 14, which doesn't hit, and then if let me just double check. Okay, 15 does hit. So there you go, guys. There's his AC. And let me just roll the damage. Okay. So that's 10 points of slashing damage and 4 points of radiant damages. Again, as just an exposed part of his back just sinks her axe deep into his back, and he lets out kind of a low groan. And you can begin to see there is blood starting to course down his back. His movements are becoming sluggish, and he's sort of staring about at each of you as you're kind of circling around him. But that ends Azares' turn, and then the
Wait,
Cyclops.
the Cyclops is bleeding?
Yes.
It's like leaking.
Is it blood or is it like
Yeah,
oil?
it's blood. No, it's blood.
Oh,
It's
okay.
not a machine. It's
It's like an augmented, giant, muscly guy. Look at the token. Use your eyes.
Um,
There you go.
use your eyes.
Well,
Um,
when I looked at the token, he looked like a machine.
He's like half machine. He's like, but you can see skin.
Cyborg.
And he's like, anyway.
I just thought it was like augmented metal.
Anyway.
How?
All right. So the Cyclops is going to. It's going to swing once at Azares, and that's a 14, which does not hit. And it's going to, with its other arm, going to swing at you, Kevros,
All right.
for an 18.
That does not hit.
Bloody hell!
I have an AC of 19 with my shield out.
I'll get you yet, Kevros.
Bring it on,
okay, so-
bitch. I got shield.
All right, so the Cyclops just slams its arms into the ground, and the kind of ground erupts and shakes, and as the dust settles, we pass to Kosh.
Okay. Well, look at the weird flexing, fleshy metal creature. I'll just shoot it with the gauntlet. I will reload as well, my bonus action, and then I'll shoot it.
Okay.
That's the most Kosh thing. I look at this amazing, marvelous creature. I'm gonna shoot it. I'll shoot it with my gauntlet.
It's about all I can do. All right, 11.
That does not hit, I'm afraid.
Okay, that's my turn.
Okay. Talora.
I'm going to raise my hand at the Cyclops, and I'm going to cast Ray of Frost on it.
That's just a cantrip, isn't it?
It is, yes.
Okay.
That's a 20 to hit.
That hits.
Actually, it's a 21 to hit, sorry.
Okay.
I forgot it's 6 now, not 5. So 2d8. So 15 damage.
Oh, not bad. Okay.
And I'm going to invoke Curse of the Sea on it, which basically limits it by 15 movement, so it's 15 less movement.
Okay. Let me just give it.
15 feet, sorry.
I'll give it the.
Until my next turn.
I'll give it the stopwatch of Curse of the Sea.
Sounds good.
The stopwatch of the sea.
Okay, Kevros.
All right, I'm going to. I'm gonna hit it with my sword. That's what I'm gonna
Sounds
do.
like a good idea. Okay.
All right. First one is a natural 1. Excellent. I'm gonna take my second attack. That's a 14 to hit.
And that does not hit.
All right, and I'm gonna action surge and make 2 more attacks.
Okay. That's
Right, my first one's a 22 overall to hit.
That hits.
All right. I'll roll damage afterwards. Second one is 25 overall to hit.
Okay, both hits.
Okay, so that is... First attack is 6 points of slashing damage. Second attack is 12 points of slashing damage.
Woo,
So 18
Okay.
points of slashing.
big boy.
All right. That'll do
I
it.
don't think I have any bonus action I want to do. So yeah,
Well, it
send
doesn't
me-
matter because you've killed it.
Oh, okay, all right.
So
Wow.
as you swing twice, the sword bangs off its armor, and then you just suddenly overcome with adrenaline. You just make another sudden quick strikes against it, and you just manage to pierce deep through into its vital organs. And again, it lets out this low moan, and all the lights and valves begin to twinkle and flash.
Oh,
And
it's not going to explode, is it?
And before it just kind of, before it just falls back onto its back with a deep crash, and the machinery goes silent.
Oh.
Does not explode.
This one didn't explode.
Yeah, seemingly not. Okay, all right. So yeah, as you guys
Nice.
catch your breath, what would you like to do now?
I'm gonna down my healing potion.
Okay.
I'm going to turn to the party and go, well, diplomacy didn't work.
Can't say we didn't try.
Hey, gosh. I'm going to gesture at the downed Sparky, the Cyclops. I'm going to you said he had like large metallic hands, right?
Yeah, his hands, where you imagine they would be, are just covered in these massive, large brass gauntlets. They just look like large bludgeoning instruments.
I'm going to gesture at the corpse in general and go, any of this, that Mizium you need?
Greg, is any of this that Mizium that I need?
Nah, this doesn't look like it's made of Mizium. It's just a simple brass or copper metal. In it, there doesn't seem to be.
I do need brass and copper for something else I've been working on, but it would take such a long time to harvest it off of this guy. I'd rather just wait. Unfortunately, no Mizium on him either. Mizium's relatively uncommon. You have to.
It is, but don't see many
It's
of
not-
these in the Rubblebelt either.
Yeah, fair enough. It should be pretty easy to get once we're back in the city. Hopefully, we can find Ember and get out of here. And
All right.
but yeah,
Well,
no,
at least now I
unfortunately,
can see
no.
how fort is it. I mean, I got set on fire twice, but you know.
Yeah, I got set on fire twice too. A series, and I'm just gonna make sure I stay really far behind you in the future.
It's a good idea, Kosh.
Either way, we should probably get going quickly. The noise that we just made is probably gonna tip him off, if anything.
Especially that Sparky went busting through the door.
Hmm.
I'd
probably don't
imagine
have
they
a lot
might
of
have
time.
seen that, yes. We should get going.
I mean, it's a cool gimmick the first time, but it must be really annoying to have to constantly replace the doors anytime you want to call Sparky out. Like, I mean, seems impractical.
I
bro.
don't think they're too worried about that.
All right.
All right.
Well, I'm gonna go over and have a quick look at one of the goblin bodies. Just
Okay,
kind
so
of-
one of them exploded.
Yeah, the one that didn't explode, the one closer
okay.
to the door.
Sure.
I'm gonna
Yeah,
go and have a look and just generally have a look at what the hell that was, because I haven't really seen flamethrowers before.
Yeah.
I'd like to accompany him just because explodey, fiery things.
Yeah. Okay. Kevro, so you want to make just an investigation check, I guess,
All right.
for this?
Craig,
Yes.
while he's doing that, can I go like stand outside of the door just to keep an eye if anybody else is gonna come out?
Sure.
That's
no
a
problem.
13, Craig.
13. Okay. So looking over it, I mean, it's hard to know exactly how all this weird machinery and contraptions work, but you kind of get the general gist that the canister along its back is some sort of fuel that is ignited as it leaves the front end of the tube. And as for what the goblin's wearing, it's just sort of simple metal armor and leather parts along his kind of arms and legs, and that's about it really.
Huh.
Is it like a special kind of fuel, or does it like what do I think this liquid is?
I mean, it's just I don't know what the Ravnica equivalent of
Petrol.
kerosene would be, but it's just essentially like that. It's just sort of some sort of flammable liquid that would be in its backpack. It's not relatively uncommon to see, or at least for Kosh to know about weapons that ignite flame and spew flame and things.
He literally has one.
Do I think that oil or whatever this is conducts flame better?
What do you mean? Sorry, or just well, the fuel in the canister would probably be for like an explosive flame would be better, whereas the oil would be better for say a lamp, for like a continuous flame.
Okay. If possible, I'd like to empty out one of my flasks of oil and replace it with a flask of this.
I would say that's probably because it's kind of like a fuel canister that you would see just at like a caravan site or something like that, you know. It'd be kind of hard to find a way to attach a nozzle and drain some of the fuel inside this tank into a.
I don't really
small...
care if it's like sloppy. I just like.
Well, it's not so much that it's sloppy, is that you'd have
It's
to.
like sealed.
Yeah, it's a sealed canister. To try and get access to it, you'd have to try and crack the canister open with
You
blunt
could
force.
make it blow up by
and-
doing that.
Knowing
It
like how
wouldn't blow up.
compressed
That's not how
gases.
it works.
Well, I'm not chief of science or anything like that, but I think if you crack open a canister of compressed liquid, it can explode quite violently.
As a chemical engineer, I agree.
Well, it depends. Like the initial description didn't make me think it was like compressed liquid. Sure, I won't mess with that then.
All right.
It's
Okay.
a flamethrower, mitt. Don't hit it.
All right.
Okay, so Talora, moving up to the doorway, just so what you can see inside the room, or sorry, inside the structure, this is essentially what you look into is a room where there seems to be signs of habitation. There's a low table with some benches alongside it. There's a few empty mugs and plates and some half-eaten food, things like that. There's also a few bedrolls alongside one room, and then there's a door that leads out just to another room. But it's a relatively simple room. There's a few kind of copper pipes that run along the edges.
Yeah.
But there's nothing really.
Yeah, I'm not looking for anything specific. I'm just making sure nobody's gonna like run out and like surprise us
Okay.
while they're frisking about.
Okay. Are you guys done frisking about?
Apparently.
I'm done
Shall we
frisking.
press on?
Okay. So yeah, are you guys wanting to go into the
Yeah,
structure?
I'd be having a look
Yeah.
at the door. Having a
Are
look
you
inside.
ready? I'm ready to go right in.
I'm
Okay.
ready to go.
I've been
in.
watching the door, so I'm going in.
So
I
Laura,
follow.
taking point for once.
Yeah, this is a great idea.
So Laura, you open the door and it just kind of reveals this simple stone corridor where there's again more of these pipes that kind of the steam kind of occasionally sprays out, but it's quite a dark area. You can see this long corridor. The back end of it, there's essentially just a massive cascade of rubble and parts of the structure have collapsed there. You can imagine where the second half of this building had kind of collapsed. That's probably where what that is. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
And then off to the left and right, there are various doors. Some of the chambers are open. And as you guys move along, you kind of look inside, and most of them seem to be kind of dusty, and there's a sense of disuse. But as you kind of walk along, you can see there's areas where the dust along the floor, there seems to be tracks into the dust that leads specifically into one chamber that opens up into, seems to be some sort of supply room. But the supplies have been kind of shifted to one side, and a small trap door has been opened, and there seems to be a stone staircase that leads down.
I assume they're down there. Anybody want to go first?
We
Why
might
don't
want to
you,
check
Miss
the supply
Ares?
room.
I will go first if Talora does not want to. Very well, I'll go first.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, I don't care. I'll go first, but
let me. So as Ares kind of takes point and leads you all down, and as you guys descend, the staircase, isn't that long. It takes about 10 seconds or so to go down these kind of stone steps until eventually you're in, as Ares leads you into this kind of basement area where there's a few red and blue pulsing lights that kind of illuminate the basement. But looking around, there seems to be a lot of discarded metal and scrap metal. There's more pipes that kind of run around the edges and the top of the room. And just looking off to your right, you can see there's a small stone pathway where there seems to be a lot more light coming from. And you can hear more sounds of machinery whizzing and almost sounds like electricity crackling along just in one of the chambers just off to your right. But there does need to be another exit out of this room.
it seems like they're coming from over there by the looks of it. Do you guys want me to scout ahead, or do you want us to just go in?
I think we should all go in together.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Better to be a group.
Okay.
Go.
So Sarah's leading you again just through this stone corridor. She kind of peeks around the corner before she kind of signals for all of you to move up alongside her. And as you all assume sort of Scooby-Doo this, essentially look around the corner, it reveals this much larger chamber that's very well lit by these lights that kind of run around the edges of the room. You can see, as well as a massive amount of like copper piping that runs along the roofs and the edges of the room. There's a lot of vents along the floor and along the walls that more steam sort of gusts out of. There's several, as well as copper piping, there's several machinery that seems to be whirling and whizzing, and again steam seems to be sorry what are you about to ask?
You know, you can keep going. You finish.
Okay. So there's more machinery that's kind of whirling and whizzing, and steam is kind of being let off. And you can see towards the back end of the room, there's one machine that looks to be kind of the center of attention in this room. It looks like a large Tesla coil, I guess is the best way to describe it. Sort of this circular bands of metal lead up to this large sphere. And you can see electricity crackling along it, especially cascading around the center of this. And there's more large, it looks like, I guess, boiler tanks behind that. And then off to the front left, there's even more of these large tanks in front of it. And you can see at the base of this tall coil, there seems to be an older looking stooped figure with kind of a shock of white hair, and he's kind of leaning over and seems to be fiddling with it in some way.
Before we move, is there any copper piping around me?
Yeah, just along
Can
the edges of the walls.
Can I put my hand on one of the pipes? Does it
Sure.
feel like hollow? So like if I like kind of like, I don't want to say like hit on it,
Like
but like
tap
if I
it,
like
like-
kind of,
Yeah,
if I kind of tap it, does it feel hollow, or does it feel
Yeah.
like there's something in it?
I would say a couple of them do feel hollow and like there isn't anything running through them, but some of them do feel like there's maybe some sort of liquid or something running through them.
Okay. I kind of like quietly gesture to the party. I say, if we end up fighting in here, just be careful. If we hit any of these, chances are we don't know what's in them.
Do I think that's Ember?
It looks to be Ember, although he is. Well, actually, make a perception check. I will say it looks like Ember from behind, at least.
Not one.
That one. Yeah, it looks like Ember.
I go in the room.
Good old Ember. Okay, so
Straight
Hobbs is
beeline
heading
for
in.
him.
What are the rest
Gosh.
of you doing? Are you all following as well?
Before we go in, I'm gonna look
I'm
at Laura.
like, no, I mean, I'm
Right, obviously.
I'm just like, you know, I'm not trying to be a douche, but like Akash goes straight for Ember.
Sure.
But I'm just gonna like essentially pat Laura and just like, whoops. And I'm gonna cast Mage Armor on us both.
Sure. Okay. So, Kosh, as you get kind of closer to this figure, he kind of looks around towards you, and yeah, it definitely is Master Ember. But he's not wearing the last time you saw him, he was wearing kind of these older red and blue threadbare robes. Now he seems to be, as well as that, on top of that, he's wearing this large, bulky metal, I don't want to say suit of armor, but it goes over his shoulders, it runs up along his chest, and it kind of runs down past his arms. And he has these large gauntlets which have lots of tubing running off towards a pack on his backpack. You can also see coming off kind of where his shoulders are, down to just kind of the base of where his ribcage would be. There's these clear tubings that seem to run, and you can see this bright yellow liquid is kind of running through this tubing. It seems to be cycling around something. And as he kind of looks, he was kind of older when you last saw him. Now he looks very pale, and his flesh is hanging off his face, and what little hair he had seems to be falling out, and it's lost some of that vibrant white and is turning to gray. And you can see beads of sweat are kind of running down his face. And as he turns towards you, and his face kind of scrunches up before his eyes open wide, and he says, "Kosh, is that you, my boy?"
Ember, it's me.
Wait, come no closer. Tell your friends to stay back.
Ember, we're here to get you out.
No, it's not ready yet. You can't be in here.
Can I look around to see if there's anybody else in the room? Like,
Make
like,
make
I
up.
want to say hiding, but like kind of, you know.
Yeah, up in the
peeking around.
rafters or anything like that.
Yeah.
Sure.
Oh, God damn it. 9.
9. Looking around you don't really notice anything. So, Kosh, what would you like to say?
What's not ready?
He's going to kill me. And at this point, he grabs you essentially by the front of your jacket, Kosh, and he looks you straight in the eye and says, "He's going to kill me. I finished it for him." But it's
What did you finish? And what is this that you're wearing?
As you kind of take a closer look at him, he kind of pushes you off and turns away, and he kind of clutches towards his head, and his eyes scrunch up, and it looks like he's going through some sort of physical pain. And I would say you kind of notice above him. Actually, make a perception check on this.
Another natural one.
Another natural one. Okay.
Gosh, it's too distraught.
Okay, you don't really notice anything apart from seeming this spasm of pain to run through Master Ember. But as he looks up, he says, "It's too late. I've built it. We're all doomed."
We're here. They're all very able. We've come a great distance to get you out of here.
No,
What have you built?
I don't want to leave. Leave me, Kosh. Go.
I'm not leaving without you.
No, I'm not coming.
What did you build? Just at least tell me what you built.
It's a weapon. And when activated... And at this point, just before he seems to speak, he seems to now almost fall down to his knees, and he lets out a scream of pain as essentially his body locks up, and it seems to be his whole posture and countenance changes as he stands back up, and he's no longer stooped over, and he kind of looks you straight in the eye and grins at you. And you can definitely see there is no trace of recognition in his glance this time. And I would like everyone to roll initiative.
Oh dear God!
Okay, so once again, let's take another look at Big Boy Bickle's work on this map.
Oh my days.
Look at this sexy man.
Nice.
So-
Look at Ember, he's looking
Ember.
great.
Yeah,
This
so
is pretty great.
all of you would be just kind of back towards the bottom right hand room of the chamber. And I would say as well, as Embert's begun to change, you hear alongside from these large metal canisters that line the room, there's kind of a deep thud and the sound of steam exhaling as the front of 2 of them open, and this wave of white smoke cascades onto the floor, and these 2 large creatures at either side of the room.
Not very I failed that freaking perception check.
Begin to step from these large, what looks to be barrels or containers, and they have sort of looks to be comprised of mostly magma and rock that kind of cascades over their bodies. And I would say, Kosh, even just looking around, you again recognize these are another type of weird that you guys have encountered before, but this ones are a little bit different. Okay, so sorry for all that. Right, if everyone wants to, so I'll add you all to the turn order now. Oops.
It was nice knowing all of you.
I just
We'll be
double
fine.
turtled 2 relatively important rules.
All right.
All right, my initiative's 18. So-
Okay, so if you just want to fill it in yourselves, that'd be great.
Oh my god.
Hang on, I'm getting the roll 20 bug where.
Yeah, you just
Yeah,
gotta keep trying, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
I just had to as well.
Man, we all just popped off on these rolls.
Almost like we knew what was coming.
It's almost like it's a
It's
little
almost
urgent.
like we're fighting Izzet Doc Octopus, and you know, we gotta try our best.
Okay. All right. So 2 seconds. Let me just roll initiative for Azares first of all. Ooh, not bad. Okay, that's a 15 for Azares.
So out of character, I just want you to know, Locken, I'm not trying to kill him. I'm trying to make him ineffective.
Okay.
Out of character, I'd like you to know, Locken, I'm not trying to kill him, but I do fight with a large 2-handed sword and fire. So
Well,
he might
melee
die.
Melee people are allowed to make non-lethal hits. I can't.
Yeah, I'm not used to doing that though.
Okay. All right. Oh, let me change the music as well.
You gotta explain that to Kosh, not to Locken, alright?
I know.
Okay. Razix.
Okay. Immediately, I'd like to. Oh well. Wait. Hold on. How far am I? I can. Okay. I'm going to
Good
cast
girl.
Hold Person on Ember.
On Ember. Okay.
So they need to. He needs to make a Wisdom saving throw or be paralyzed for a minute, and then he gets to roll a save every time,
Okay.
every turn that he gets to go.
Okay. So
Aren't you
Ember
dots?
gets a 19.
Damn it! Nothing happens in that case.
Okay.
But I will run forward towards one of the weirds.
Sure. And Talora. Or does that end your turn, Razix? Razix?
I'll cast Shillelagh if it's run out and my
How long
turn.
does it last? 10 minutes?
Yeah, it's 10 minutes. Yeah.
I would say it's probably run out. So yeah, you can just cast it again. So Talora, what would you like to do?
I'm going to move up right kind of beside Razix. I could still like peek around this piece of like machinery, right? Like,
Yeah, that's fine.
okay. I'm going to I'm going to try to cast Ice Knife on this like the weird on the bottom.
Okay, go ahead.
That's
So
okay.
it's okay, so the attack from you and then a dex save from
Yeah. First is the piercing part. So that is a I can't math. 13.
Okay, that does hit.
Oh, okay. So I'll roll my damage there. 1d10. So that's gonna be 4 piercing, and then
Sure.
he has to make a reflex save.
A reflex.
I believe so.
Pathfinder, classic.
Do you mean a dex save?
Sorry, reflex dex.
Good old Pathfinder.
Okay.
Redex.
He gets a 9, which I assume is a failure.
Yeah, it's a fail. So 2d6. And then he takes 5 extra damage as well.
Okay.
Cold
That's
damage.
Okay. So as you guys watch, Talora just conjures forth the knife that she flings, and it stabs into the upper body of the creature, and it seems to be mostly absorbed by the kind of essentially lava flesh that it has before it explodes and shatters, and ice shards buried deep into its body. Anything else?
Nope. That's all I'm gonna do.
Okay. Kosh.
I will look up to Ember and I'll say, please don't make me do this.
He does not reply. He just continues to have this sort of manic grin across his face.
Okay. I will cast Zephyr Strike on myself. And I'll go ahead and activate it too. And
Okay.
feel everything slow down around me. And I will bolt down all the way 2. I think I can actually get all the way back. Well, first I'm gonna go here, and
Okay.
I'm gonna shoot the weird that Talora just shot. And it's a natural 20.
Okay. That is.
So they take. So they take 21 points of piercing damage, and then they also take 14 points of force damage.
Okay.
Damn.
Yeah, the double dice roll when nat 20ing when you Zephyr Strike is pretty lucky. And then I'll use the rest of my movement to run behind Aseres and Kevros all the way back to here.
Okay. So you raise your gauntlet and fire off a shot, and it just smashes deep into one of the shoulder plates. You can see it kind of shatters apart the metal, and some of the tubing kind of goes loose, and this kind of bright yellow liquid begins to kind of spray out and kind of fall to the floor. And you can see this is kind of the shot has pierced straight through the armor and gone out the back. And Ember seems to be bleeding a lot over his chest.
Ember.
Oh yeah, no, that didn't go for Ember.
Oh, did it not? Oh, my bad. Sorry.
No, I almost
weird.
said Ember, and then I changed my mind.
Oh,
at the last
sorry,
second.
my mistake. My mistake. It was the weird. Okay.
Yeah, all
All
good.
right, so Ember's armor pulls itself back together somehow. My mistake.
Button on
With the
VCR.
magic of retconning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And sorry, was it the bottom weird?
It was, yeah, I believe Talora hit that one, right? I wanted to hit whichever one Talora hit.
Okay. All right. So as you fire off a shot, it just kind of blasts straight through, and more of the kind of lava flesh sprays out across the ground behind it. So yeah. Hey. Anything else?
No, I'll go ahead and my turn where I am.
They
Okay.
said that there was multiple timelines, so
Oh,
Yeah.
it's all coming together.
Okay, Vicario.
All right, I shall move up to this location and cast Darrow's Bane. It will
Sure.
hurt for them. It's a charisma save on all 3 of them.
Okay, so top guy, first of all, he gets an 8. So
Damn.
we give him the eye.
I have Bane.
Ember gets a 17. Does that save?
Darn. Yep.
Okay.
Yes.
And the bottom weird gets a 10.
Fails.
Okay. All right. Not bad.
Get Bane.
Do they feel in charge? That is it.
That took a second. That's it. Okay. All right. Kevros.
All right. I'm going to. Well, I'm gonna drop my sword on the ground. Normal way to start a fight. Sling my shield on my back and then summon my 2-hander.
Okay.
And I am going to. Yep. I'm gonna run up to Master Ember and take a swing at him.
Okay. Go ahead.
First one is natural 20 on that actually. Holy shit.
Wow.
Okay.
Oh shit, this is a. How many dice is this? 4. Right. That is 1 and 5, so 6, and a 6 and a 4, so 10, so 16 plus 4, so 20 points of slashing damage. Oh,
Okay.
sorry, no, I need to reroll the 1. Okay, so 24 points of slashing damage.
Okay.
God, great weapon fighting is great.
Whee.
And then
Okay.
second attack is a 9 to hit. So
That
I'm
does
gonna
not
guess
hit.
that doesn't hit. Yeah, all right.
No. Okay, so you swing your sword over and you just smash it down into the armor plate on his shoulder. And again, now this time, the armor cracks and the tubing kind of splits apart. And you see more of this kind of bright yellow liquid that kind of splatters onto the ground. And his form seems to wither slightly, but he's still standing.
All right. Yeah, that's the end of my turn because summoning my weapons bonus action. So
Okay. Azares is going to rage. And then she is going to... Okay, she can do that with her 40 feet of movement. And then she's going to try and make an attack against the blister. Okay, that's a nat 1. And then an 8. No, not an 8, a 9, sorry. Yeah, so neither of those hit. Okay, now it's my turn again. So first of all, Master Ember, he looks at you, Kevros, before he essentially leaps back, and as he does, lightning arcs from his hands. And this movement does not provoke an attack of opportunity, as he essentially flies through the air and lands next to the coil, and he slams his hand down onto the side, and he seems to have pulled on a lever, and now the electricity running up and down the coil begins to pulse and crackle and shift, and there seems to be a large buildup of energy in the central sphere at the top. And now for his main action. Okay, and at that point, after that, Master Ember puts his hand on his chest, and he essentially grabs hold of himself, and he seems to cast something. You can see the skin that's exposed to the armor begins to sort of tighten up, and it seems to be that he somehow made himself more resistant to damage. And that ends. Well, that doesn't. That's what he's going to do, and I'm just going to give him a little dot there. And now the weird next to his Ares is going to. Okay, she's going to hit her. So give me a second. Okay, that hits.
Minus a d4.
Minus a d4. Okay, that brings it down to 13, which does not hit. Lovely.
There's Bane.
Okay, so
Kevro coming in clutch.
And the weird's just going to shift up there. Then the second one is going to run down towards you, Kevros, and swing at you. And
Nice,
that's all right. I remember. I forgot the first one of it. All right, so 24 minus a d4.
That's going to hit
24,
regardless.
Yeah. So that's 22.
Yeah, that hits.
Okay. So you take, as it kind of raises its hand towards you, it slams it into you. You take 8 points of bludgeoning damage.
All right.
And 12 points of fire damage.
Holy shit. Okay.
And that ends their turn.
All
So
right.
Razix.
Okay. I'm going to run up between Azares and Kevros, and I'm going to cast Fairy Fire at the top weird and in a 20-foot square that hits Ember as well.
Can you give me the text for Fairy Fire? Because I want to check something.
They can't go invisible, and you get advantage hitting them.
No, but it's AoE, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's a dex
Yeah,
save,
it's a 20-foot cube centered.
that
at a
hits
point.
me as well, right?
He could do it up top and not hit you.
Sorry, where did you send? Can you just show me one more? Sorry, John. I just want to double check something.
Sure. I was going to
Okay.
center it somewhere here.
Okay, all right, that's fine. So let me just check. So first of all, for the weird that's opposite Kevros, he rolls a 7, so that's a failure.
That's a fail.
Master Ember rolls a 19.
That
That's a
succeeds.
success. And then the weird next to his Ares rolled a nat 1, which is a failure. And then, okay, so as you cast the spell, essentially these bright lights sparkle out and begin to form onto the sides of the weirds. However, a new creature is outlined.
Oh, God.
Oh, okay.
Oh!
Arcing over Master Ember, you can see there's essentially almost looks like this large, bony, spiked, floating torso with these long hands that end in these sharp claws, which almost look to be digging into Master Ember's head as it kind of floats above him. And as it sort of these corporeal lights begin to float onto it, it begins to look up to all of you, and it lets out this kind of deep screech that reverberates through the whole lab. Okay, so now let me just
Wow. Okay.
I would like to use
That
my
was
reaction to
very
shat
useful.
pants, please.
let me give them the ninja mask.
I mean,
of
We already have to give Razix MVP of the fight for that one.
Yeah, that was a pretty.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, whoa, here we go. All right.
I was
changes
just
the
thinking
whole
to make them easier to hit, but okay.
Fucking,
Okay.
fucking 600 IQ plays here.
Okay. Anything else, Razix?
I would like to invoke my spores on the weird above me.
The weird above you. Okay. All right. So
As a
well,
con
Greatest
save.
3-year-old we've ever
Minus-
met.
okay. So with the Bane, he gets a 12.
That fails.
Okay. Go ahead and roll damage.
Ooh, max damage 4 spore damage.
4.
Big
Nice.
boy.
Next level, it turns to a D6.
Okay. Anything else?
No, that's it.
Okay. Talora.
All right. Oh crap. I'm gonna try to cast Ray of Frost on the weird right beside his Ares.
Okay. Go ahead.
one.
Ooh. Wait, no, you have advantage. Did you roll that with advantage? It is fairy
What?
fired. It's fairy
The
fired.
one beside Azaries does?
Yep.
Oh, shit. I thought it didn't.
No, it's a 20-foot cube. It wouldn't hit it, would it?
No,
Yeah,
I think it's only
I
the
don't
top
think
two.
that
Yeah,
should
no,
hit.
I was trying to only aim for the two at the
Oh,
top.
did it? Oh, my bad. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Okay. All right. Okay.
Because if not, he would have had to have tagged Kevros and Aseris too.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Let me remember.
Nothing can stop
my
Talora's nat ones.
I was trying to lend a hand there. Okay. All right. Anything else, Laura?
No, I think I'm gonna stay there.
Okay. Kosh.
I'll go ahead and move up. Move
I
up
would-
25 feet,
Okay.
and I will shoot at the thing above Ember. I assume I can see enough outline to see it.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it's highlighted now. You'll have advantage.
Okay. I will go ahead and use my bonus action to reload, and then I'll shoot.
Okay.
Well, that's a natural 2 and a natural 3, so I'm gonna assume 10 doesn't hit.
No, it does not.
Nice advantage. All right. That's my turn.
Okay, Vicaru.
I'm going to go here.
We're all dead.
There into there. No, it's fine. Then I'm just going to call him an ugly spirit. That's what it looks like to me. And I'm going to go ahead and cast my spiritual weapon.
Okay.
Need to bring that out yet again in its sparkling glory. Not
The light
it.
compels you.
The power of the black sun. Then I'm going to attack it.
Sure.
Come on. That is a 20. I can't do basic math. 22.
Yeah, that hits.
Sweet. All right. You shall take a d8 plus 4. So he takes 8 damage.
Okay.
And then I toll the dead on his punk.
Okay.
But that is a wisdom save. Yes.
Okay, he rolls a 14 on the wisdom save.
Crap. Am I at 15 yet? I'm at 15. All right.
Okay.
So he takes 2 d12 damage.
Okay.
'Cause I'm smart and I remembered. So he takes 17 points of damage.
Okay.
Very nice.
And I'll stay there.
Okay. So as your spiritual weapon just sort of collides into him, he sort of shakes and turns, and there seems to almost be a sense of panic in whatever sort of creature that has been revealed.
Wait,
didn't
I wasn't supposed to be seen. What?
Anything else?
Nope.
Okay, Kevros.
All right. I'm going to. Now that I see that we're focusing fire on the horrible thing hooking itself into Ember, I will cast Magic Missile at it.
Okay. So before you do that, the sphere at the top of the coil begins to crackle, and as you just begin to cast that into your hand, a bolt of lightning just suddenly shoots out from it and arcs towards you, and I need to make a dexterity saving throw.
All right. My dexterity saving throw is. Let me see.
I think
what
you get zapped.
Yeah, he's gonna get zippity zapped.
15.
You
Okay.
might have been out of range.
So you take. Oh my goodness, this dice. Where is it? There you are. You take 6 points of lightning damage,
All right. Yeah, I'll just take that.
and then
Right.
you can still do the rest of your.
Yeah,
turn.
yeah, that's cool. All right. Yeah, I take that, and then I'm going to cast Magic Missile at the horrible thing floating above Ember.
Okay.
That is. First one's a 2 and a 3, so that's 7, and then plus 5. Nice. 12 points of force damage.
Okay, so as you hold your hand forward, more of these sort of balls of green fire appear in your hand, and you just fling them out towards the creature. They just go smash, smash, smash straight into it, and it begins to kind of screech out and looks to all of you with a deep hatred you can feel from its
Oh.
eyes.
I like a deep hatred from my enemies. And as my bonus action, I'm going to use my second wind.
Okay.
And roll a 9. Very nice. So that's 14 hit points back to me.
Okay. All right. So
Okay.
Azarius is going to continue fighting the weird next to her, and first of all, nat 1, and
Oh
her
my
second
God.
attack. Okay, that's a 18 that hits, and she deals. Okay. Okay, so that's 12 points of slashing damage, and as she does her Axe again glows with this radiant light, and it deals an additional 2 radiant damage. So she smashes her axe into the creature, and more of this kind of fiery flesh begins to spray off it, and it begins to seem to almost fall apart and slouch before, but it's still standing.
They're tough boys.
Yeah. Okay, so that ends her turn. Now, first of all, the let's say the weird's next to Azarius is going to try and hit her back, and that's a miss. And then the one next to you, Kevros. Okay, that's 23.
That certainly hits.
Okay, so you take. Oh man, I've got so many things to juggle here. I'm so sorry.
That's all right, no.
Okay, so that's 11 points of bludgeoning damage.
All right.
And 9 points of fire damage.
Okay.
As it slams its hand straight across you. Now the creature above Ember, its hand is still sort of almost seem to pass through his skull in a sort of corporeal fashion. And Ember is going to... Okay, first of all, Ember is going to dash forward, and the creature behind him essentially tags along and follows him. And once Ember is there, he is going to... Okay, I need Kevros, Razix, and Azarius to make for me a dexterity saving throw.
All right.
As Ember smashes hands towards again, and electricity arcs off and begins to cascade around all of you.
That's 18 from me.
Okay, that's a
I
save.
also rolled an 18.
Okay, and Azarius rolled a 13, which let me just double check. Okay,
Does
that's
she
a
get
fail.
advantage on that? Because
Oh, thanks for reminding me. Yes, she does. Okay, and she nat 20s that. Okay, so
Go, John.
thanks, John.
I've played a barb before.
Sorry, I'm just rolling the damage for it. So Razix, Azarius, and Kevros, you guys take rounded. So this is rounded down 7 points of force damage because you guys succeeded. And you're
All right, I'm on the floor.
all right. Okay.
Uh-oh.
I hope you're ready to roll your new Izzet fighter that's been locked away in the laboratory for 20 years.
No, I've already threatened Craig. If he kills me again, the gnome bard is coming out.
Oh
And
gosh,
I'm,
no.
and I'm not
Okay.
joking.
Okay. The creature above Ember just continues to have its hands dug deep into his skull, and it doesn't take any other actions. Razix, at the start of your turn, the sphere at the top of the coil crackles again, and another bolt of lightning shoots towards you. I need you to make a dexterity saving throw for me.
You're
I
muted.
rolled an 8.
Okay, I'm afraid that's a failure, and you take 7 points of lightning, not lightning damage. Sorry,
Force?
force damage. Yes.
Okay.
So yeah, now you can take the rest of your turn.
I just realized I need to roll Constitution or concentration.
Concentration.
Okay.
Ooh, 9 natural 20s. Nice.
You were muted.
No, we heard it through your mic, don't we?
I rolled a natural 20.
Okay. So did you do that? Sorry, John, just to make sure, did you do that twice? Once for the...
Oh, right.
Thunder
For the
wave?
lightning as well.
Yeah.
Aha. I rolled a 15.
Okay, that's a success.
Perfect.
Okay, now you can take your turn.
No.
Yeah, now that Craig's done making you roll.
Muted.
So, is this thing in melee range with me? Like, I know he said it's hovering above him.
Yeah, you could hit him. It's not like floating up in the ceiling. It's just right above Ember with his hand sort of almost embedded into his skull.
Maybe somebody wants to hit the weird that's gonna hit me.
I gotcha.
No, I got you. It's fine.
So many people
I
gone.
really want to count on Talora to take that thing down.
Yes, Laura just shoots me on the floor with a like ray of frost finger gun. It's like, what the?
I have it's not a meme question. So, is it at all possible to control the lightning in this room with Call Lightning?
What does the text for Call Lightning read?
Summons a storm, I think.
Isn't it gets advantage or some such with there's a storm in the area?
Yeah,
or
it says if you're outdoors in a stormy condition, you can cast this to gain control of the existing storm.
Now this isn't a storm. This is just this is good old fashioned electricity.
I just thought I'd ask.
No problem. Yeah, it's a fair question. It's a fair question.
Good old fashioned electricity, none of that new age lightning.
Yeah.
In that case, I'm just gonna try to take a swing at the thing floating above and
Sure.
in Ember's head.
Okay,
I'm
go
gonna
ahead.
invoke my spores at it as well. So if you want to roll a Constitution save while I do that, that'd be great.
Telling me what to do. Okay. All right. That's an 11 on the con save.
Okay, he fails that, so he takes 4 necrotic damage.
Okay.
And I rolled a 21 to hit. No, not a 21 to hit.
That hits. Just so you know, John, 'cause you would need to move like either here, to its right or below it, because although it's sort of behind. Yeah, that's fine. Sorry, just to be pernickety.
That's why I kind of asked, can I hit him where I'm standing? But yep, that's cool. I will roll damage. I rolled a 5.
Okay.
5 damage. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So you just crack your staff across its shoulder, and it just lets out a screech, but it still continues to hold its fingers deep into Ember's skull. Anything else?
He said
Sure.
that's it.
That's it. Okay. Thanks for translating.
I am. This is awful. Yeah.
Okay. Talura.
Okay, so I see Kevros in the corner go down to the
Yes.
weird. So I'm going to turn around and focus on that weird, and I'm going to cast at level 3 my freezing rays, which means I get an additional ray, basically. So
Okay.
4 rays. So let's do it.
Not even Tolar can miss all 4 of these rays.
Well,
I'm
Don't
waiting for it.
tempt her.
23 for the first.
hits.
21 for the second.
Hits.
10 for the third.
Miss.
And 20 something for the fourth.
Okay, hits. Did you roll with advantage on all of them, by the way?
Oh shoot, no. Okay, I'll roll 4 more times, I guess, for
Okay.
first, second, third, and
All right,
fourth.
Yep. So you missed the
versus-
third one, I believe.
Yeah, so the first one I rolled worse.
Okay.
Second one I rolled worse.
Okay.
This is the third one, which I missed.
Okay.
I got 21.
That hits.
So, and a 19. So they all hit.
They all hit. Wow, look at that.
Okay.
She did it.
Woo, Jesus. Okay, so 2d6.
I never doubted.
So 6 damage for the first.
Okay.
10 damage for the second.
Okay.
5 damage for the third.
Okay.
And I get to reroll those because they're ones. And 8. Oh, actually no, they're just 2. So 4 damage. Sorry.
4 damage. Okay. Okay, that's enough
So-
for it.
Yeah, they're all
Um,
cold.
All right. So as you hold your hand and just fire off these 4 blasts of bright blue energy, they essentially just almost seem to sink into the creature's chest. It begins to sort of bubble, and you can see the lava and magma begin to run off it until it eventually just collapses into a puddle that sort of steams and instantly cools as it hits the ground, and that one looks to be defeated. Ooh.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah, that was crazy. I'm going to remain where I am. And that's
Okay.
it.
Kosh.
Let me double check something. I just was struck by an idea. It's probably not a good one.
Uh-oh.
One of those brainy Kosh ideas.
I'm going to threaten the monster.
You leave him
Put
alone.
him down right now, or I'm gonna get really upset. Good cop, bad cop. No, I'll just reload and shoot.
Okay.
The classic.
Where are you shooting?
The floaty spectral puppet master.
Okay.
That's an 11.
I'm afraid that misses.
All right.
You
That's
have
what you're-
advantage because it's
You have
verified.
advantage.
Oh, all right. Good catch. Nope, that's a 12.
Okay. All right. Anything else?
Nope, that's my turn.
Okay. Vicari.
I am going to go ahead and cast Healing Word Twinned on Razix and Kevros.
Okay.
Thanks.
So I need to take my things down here. There we go. So they get back 1d4 plus my spellcasting mod. Gimme. Oh, cool. They get 8 health points back,
Nice.
There you go.
I
which means
stand up.
Kevros is. Well, you have to do that on your turn, but you're
Okay,
awake
sure.
now.
I'm awake, yeah.
Okay.
And since that's a bonus action, because I'd like to maintain my action economy, I'm gonna go ahead and toll the dead. That stupid ghost man.
Okay. Let me make a wisdom save, yeah? Okay, that's 17.
No,
Oh, okay. Unlucky.
I wanted to kill it.
Anything else?
No, I'm fine in the corner.
Okay. Kevros,
Right, I'm gonna stand up.
you stand up.
I'm gonna barge past Razix,
You barge past Razix.
and I'm going to swing at this floating asshole thing.
Okay, one moment. Before you...
For fuck's sake, if you lightning me again,
Oh my god, he's gonna lightning him to death.
I will drive up to Inverness
Well,
and you'll be
it's-
in trouble.
It's not that. It's you moved away from Ember.
Oh yeah, I did.
And all of a sudden appearing in his
God.
hand is with kind of a crackle of lightning, this long, it almost looks like a spear made entirely of lightning appears in his hand. He just essentially tries to jab you with it.
All right.
And that's it's a 10. So
That's-
it's a miss.
For once, that doesn't hit me. Yeah.
So as he misses, it just sort of fizzles out and disappears from his hand.
All right.
Okay.
I'm gonna swing at this floating thing.
Yes. Go for it.
First one is only a 14.
That hits.
All right. I'll roll them after. Second one is a 22 overall. So the
that
first
hits.
one is 13 points of slashing damage, and the second
Okay.
one is 13 points of slashing damage.
Okay. So as you swing overhead, the creature just sort of looks towards you, and as it does, you just bring your sword right down to the center of its head, and it just kind of snaps apart and cracks. And this kind of black fluid just sprays out and covers you and partially on Razix as it screeches out, and its hands pull out of Master Embert's head as it sort of spins around until eventually it just begins to almost fade into dust as part of its form begins to disappear, almost like ash on the wind as it seems to let out this unearthly screech
Right.
that rings out. So the creature is dead, and Master Ember, who's just had these fingers move from his head, essentially just almost looks like he collapses straight to the ground.
All right. And I would like to run up to the lever that he pulled on this device and pull it the other way.
Okay, sure thing.
Vicario would like to take the assist point on that, on Kevros's dunk.
So yeah, you turn that off, and the ball of lightning fizzles out and seems
Alright.
to stop.
And yeah, I'll end my turn.
Okay, all right. Azarius should be able to do this. Let's hope so. Okay, so Azarius is going to swing at the weird next to her. That's a miss for the first one, and then that hits. That's a 24, and that's enough. Okay, she swings her axe just essentially straight through where this creature's head is and just parts straight through the kind of magma flesh that just parts, and again it sort of fizzles out and almost instantly cools down to rock and just falls down and crumbles onto the ground. And that seems to be it. Okay, so that seems to be it, yeah. Master Ember's just fallen to the ground now. Seemingly maybe not dead, but I guess this is probably a pretty good place to end it. So is there anything if you'd like to immediately do before we do so?
Immediately
Yes.
rush over to Ember.
I would like to cast Healing Word on Ember.
Okay, sure thing. If you want to roll the healing
All right.
pointies for that.
The D4. That is 6 total points of life back.
Okay.
Need to take that off of my sheet. Spells.
Okay. Anything else for? Are we all good?
I'll wait till next week.
Sure. Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. So what a good spot to end it. Eh? We'll see what happens next week. So yeah, thanks for tuning in, everyone. I hope you enjoyed it. Just as a reminder, again, you can jump on our subreddit afterwards and talk about the show and tonight's episode if you'd like to. So that's reddit.com/r/Guildgates. Also check out our Patreon, which is patreon.com/Guildgates and Goblins. And then don't forget to tune in to, well, Connor, do you want to handle this one? Because I can't remember what.
Yeah, go on. Make sure that you're following twitch.tv/Tyler Walpole Art. He's going to be painting all of our characters throughout this week. Make sure you give him a follow and check out his website and stuff. And yeah, he'll have loads of cool details on that. So Can't wait for that. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching.
All right,
We'll see
lovely.
you next week.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.